Good afternoon, folks, and welcome back to the Games Done Quick channel. Oops, All Zelda Weekend 3. I'm kidding. We're not going to do this again. Let's get right into it. Pippi, are you ready to get us into The Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass?
I sure am.
All right, let's do this. I'm ready to rock and roll and take us into the ocean.
Let's go to the ocean. Let's go to the Temple of the Ocean King. Well, welcome everyone to The Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass. This is a 2.5D Zelda game on the DS, and it's going to take full use of the DS's features. This is definitely Wind Waker, and because this is definitely Wind Waker, we have a Wind Waker expert with us. Hi, Jim.
Hi, Pippi.
You know how this works, right?
Yes, I know things about Wind Waker. I'm sure it will all transfer over seamlessly. It's been a hot second since I've played this game, but I've seen you play it a lot, so I'm sure that counts for something.
Thing. Yeah. The first thing I'm gonna do before we start up the run is fun time save that you can implement at home. I just went in the options menu and we're gonna set our text speed to fast. That's a setting that you can set before the game begins, which is really nice, actually. There's going to be plenty of time to talk while we are getting introduced to 10-pixel tall Link, because remember, DS screen. So I think we are all set to go. Jim, are you ready to go on an adventure in a boat with me?
I am ready.
Let's do it.
All right. When I hit adventure, we can start the timer in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So we're gonna just start by skipping a bunch of really charming cutscenes. They're very cute. They've got like this really cute papercraft art style, and we are not going to look at them. That is slow. Oh, Link, go up the stairs, please. So the plot in this game is, I don't know, something really similar to Breath of the Wild, actually. We woke up on a beach and we have amnesia, and our favorite female character is missing, and we're gonna go find her. Right? That's like the actual plot of Breath of the Wild, right? However, in this one, instead of having the voice of Zelda, we have a fairy. This is not Navi. This is Ciela. And she is telling us that we should go make friends with her grandfather, who is, for some reason, this random human old man. His name is Oshu, and he is going to give us a sword, because every old man has a sword. And we're gonna get into our first skip of the game pretty quickly here, and also our introduction to how a lot of the puzzles in this game are gonna work. That this game really likes you using the touch screen. So, that was a puzzle. I drew the number 7. Neat.
Okay, see, no. You can't make fun of that puzzle, because I'm not gonna lie, it took me like an hour to figure out that I had to draw the number 7. I had no idea.
Yeah. Ooh, we got dizzy. Hopefully we won't be doing that too much. I'll talk about getting dizzy in a moment, because we are gonna jump straight into our first skip. We're gonna skip a tutorial section by picking up a pot, pressing the menu button, picking up another pot, and leaving. That breaks something to do with Oshu's like cutscene, by throwing the pot at the right time and pausing and running away. So now there is a copy of Oshu hanging outside his house that will be there for the rest of the run. That makes doing 100% run impossible, because he is standing in front of a dig spot. Fun, weird tutorial skip, but that's just gonna skip us doing the sort of classic Zelda sword tutorial where it teaches you how to slash things, and in this game, obviously slashing things is gonna be very dependent on me using the stylus. And also, while this is a DS game, it is optimally played on the Wii U Virtual Console. So I am playing it on original hardware, but just on a Wii U Virtual Console. We're also going to start a pattern now. In early game, all of our tricks are going to be dependent on pots. This is a trick called Rat Room, and it's a little bit... No, that's not what I wanted. Hold on. We'll grab another pot. Link decided he wanted to throw that pot at the wall. It's a very RNG dependent and relies on rats doing what we want. but hopefully we can get to show it off for you.
There's a couple of Zelda games that rats are required for tricks.
No. Hold on.
Yeah, this rat around you is not making it
There
easy.
we go.
There we go. Good stuff.
That probably didn't save a lot of time there because I got some pretty rough RNG from the rat on the right. Because if he runs into you, Link is gonna drop his pot, and that's bad. And I didn't want that to happen, but I did get to show off the trick for you. You can snipe that lad as he enters the screen, and it skips a whole puzzle where you have to move blocks around and wait for the rat to run in the correct direction and slash him when he is on his way back from finding out that his hole is covered. It is just a cute little trick. So that's going to be a lot of our early game tricks for now, so we can run around and watch some cutscenes. We're looking for access to a boat so that we can go on an adventure to find Tetra. Jim, you know who Tetra is, right?
Yeah, she was in the first half of Wind Waker, and then she kind of just disappeared for some reason. And then came back at the end, so it makes sense that she's in the sequel.
So does that mean that we're already halfway through Wind Waker right now? If she's disappeared already? Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
Phantom Hourglass starts halfway through Wind Waker.
Exactly.
That's how it works, I'm sure.
So they told me to go to the Temple of the Ocean King. Now, if you remember this game casually, that's probably what you're going to remember most because we're going to be visiting it multiple times. It's right up here, and we're going in looking for Linebeck right now. We're actually going to be visiting it one less times than you normally would casually, but we do have to do all of the early game visits, unfortunately. We can't really sequence break the game yet. This game is going to fall into the general sort of structure of the first half of it is going to be kind of casual gameplay done fast, and the second half of it is going to be, what if I broke everything because I have a fairy holding a hammer? So it's kind of the best of both worlds. Pick whatever half is your favorite. Let me know. Which half do you prefer? Personally, I prefer the second half. I think that breaking things is really fun, but that's not to everyone's taste, and Phantom Hourglass is here to provide. By the way, here's the best character in Phantom Hourglass. Here's Linebeck. He's a coward. And perpetually sleep deprived, aka has a ton of guy liner on. I don't know which it's supposed to be. But we're gonna rescue him. I don't even know how he got stuck in there. There's like no way. He had no tools. How did he do this? But Temple of the Ocean King's kind of, kind of gimmick is that when I touch the floors, if I'm not standing on the purple sparkly floor, I'm gonna be continually taking damage. And you will notice that my health total is going to get increasingly more scary over the course of this visit. That is okay. I can be fine. I don't need to die. We're just gonna wait for that spike cycle. Death is not necessary for speedruns, says the Skyward Sword runner.
It's time for another Jiggy Zelda hot take, everybody.
Okay, I'm ready.
Uh-oh.
All right, you all ready?
Okay.
I think that the mechanics of the Temple of the Ocean King are incredible, and I think that if they came out in a 3D Zelda game like Wind Waker or any other 3D Zelda title, Skyward Sword, I think that it would be a genuinely fun experience.
I will go one step further and say that the mechanics of the Temple of Ocean King are just great. I think they're great in this game. I know not everybody loves the stylus-based control scheme. Some people found rolling in this game to be kind of awkward. But I think they're just fun. They're really fun. Also, I died. Don't worry about it. That was intentional death warp. If it wasn't clear, we skipped like some text. But we freed Linebeck. We also got access to the first section of the ocean. And we're gonna go back and see more of the mechanics that Jiggy is talking about later. I kind of think that Temple of the Ocean King is sort of a speedrunner's dream. the structure of it is that every time we go back, we'll have different items and we'll be able to do different things and get further on the timer. By the way, this is Scribbles. I have scribbled successfully. I feel like a child. But you can.
But could you imagine if it was like kind of like Breath of the Wild in a sense, where if you were like really good and you had like a, I don't know, some sort of like mega brain, you could get to the top instantly.
That would be so.
But like if you were, it'd be so much fun if you could just go all the way to the top. But then like the point is that you only have that specific amount of time. And, you know, it gets easier just like it does in this game if you go find items or you get more time. You know, you have to go find sand to make your time more higher. But I don't know. I think it'd be a fun mechanic for a modern experience.
Jiggy, I would love to have a remake of this game. You are also going to love, there's a lot of theoretical time save for tricks that haven't been found in this game. Oh, hey, Jim might know about this. A lot of people say, what's this game's barrier skip? And we have one, but that we're looking for. We're desperately looking for. I'm also a jumping boat right now. Don't worry about it. But we have one that we're looking for. The biggest theoretical time save in this run is called Blue Door Skip. And it would essentially mean that the second half of this run would be turned into maybe 20 minutes of gameplay. We would be able to skip so much in the second half of the run, and it would be so cool. And I will definitely show you when we get to where it would come into play, because it would basically mean that the second half of this run would be exactly what Jiggy is describing. Just get to the bottom of the Temple of the Ocean King, like immediately, as fast as possible on a timer that you're not supposed to really be able to beat very easily, and then go fight the final boss. And that would be it. That would be great. But we're still working on it.
That would be so fun. Yeah, maybe one day.
Yeah, if you enjoy Phantom Hourglass, please consider helping us out in glitch hunting it. I can't wait to break this game more. There's totally breaks in this game that we haven't found yet. Someday, well, we might not get arbitrary code execution like the other Wind Waker, but we can definitely get Blue Door Skip though, right? You might also notice that Link is adorable and gets dizzy sometimes. That means that he kind of has like a dizzy meter, which works like a stamina meter. And I can't roll too much. The problem with the dizzy meter in this game is that it's invisible. I can't see it. So I'm trying to cut corners as much as possible. Also, this is a DS game. Did you know that the DS has a microphone?
Yep.
I used the microphone.
Wait, did that work?
Yes.
Because the Wii U's is like way worse than the 3DS's.
It sure is.
I got I was playing the game with the trains.
Yeah.
And they make you do like, you know, ocarina stuff in that.
Oh, that was
And I got lightheaded because I was going I was going crazy.
They also changed
That was probably great audio for everyone, by the way.
They changed it between Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks. The mic is actually better in Phantom Hourglass. I don't know why they made it worse in Spirit Tracks. And it is also even better manipulatable. We have microphone manips later in this run.
Wild. But the Switch 2 does have a microphone built into it. That's the thing. It just doesn't have it on the controllers.
They can bring it back. They can bring back having to yell at my gamepad.
Have to yell at your Switch.
Yeah, gotta scream.
So
it's interesting because these two titles are in an interesting state right now where like, so Mr. _ Shasta has this game world record right now, and any percent is 3 hours and 4 minutes, which is absolutely insane. You're not too far behind, Pippi, and it's like the question is that you would think this one would be the longest, but Spirit Tracks, the world record, is literally an hour longer at 3 hours and 59 minutes for any percent. They are, in fact, the longest titles in the like longest categories, other than like 100% Breath of the Wild and like meme categories like that. But it's very interesting that like they are obviously the longest any percents in the franchise. So it's challenging to fit them in. So I'm happy that we were able to fit them into this one. But even like when we're talking about building the big split, which I can talk about later more, I think this game we have 3 hours and 30 minutes for, and then the next game, Phantom Hourglass or Spirit Tracks, has like 4.5, 5 hours.
Yeah,
they're by far the longest titles.
Yeah, and if you want to help us bring them down, you are more than welcome to. Both Jiggy and anybody watching at home.
No, you can have this game. But, you can play this one.
Thank you for leaving
this one. You can have this one. I like A Link to the Past. My favorite Zelda game got played yesterday, and I was pumped about it. It was a great time.
A Link was struggling with switches there. But as you might have noticed, we are in our first dungeon now. We've kind of gotten past the majority of the cutscenes in this run already, so we're gonna get more movement time. Also, carrying on it with our trend, this is gonna be another pot-based trick. Neat. Ow. I got electrocuted. But here's our first dungeon. And you can see our fun stylus-based combat coming into play. Those little green guys did not play super nice, but we're going to get one of my favorite items in this game. This is the boomerang. Hot take, and Jim being a Twilight Princess runner, you might argue with me on this, but this is the best boomerang in Zelda.
So I guess I would have to hear why you think this is the best boomerang in Zelda.
I think I know.
I just get to draw a line on the screen and it does stuff. It also does a lot of fun tricks. You get to just draw a shape and it follows your shape. It's so cool. How is that not fun?
That's true. That is pretty cool.
Jim, from what I'm aware, this boomerang also defies the laws of physics and goes through walls,
sure does.
so you can get keys that are just like on the other side of the world.
Although
it
I
sure
do think
does.
that most boomerangs in the Zelda series do that. If you curve them around a wall and the boomerang has to come back to you, it will always just ignore all collision on the way back to you, pretty much.
Yeah, so
unless it's Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, I think.
It essentially, it has a grab box in this game on the way back, even though it does not have collision, which is what we can abuse. Also, I'm damage boosting quite a bit. Here are more rats. So we're gonna use that quite a bit to get, especially out of the way small keys later, is we're going to, look at that. Look how cute that is. You can just draw a line and then have it wait somewhere else for you and then draw a line back. So cute. Love it. But we can have it grab things through walls by angling it so that on the way back, it grabs stuff for us. Excuse me. There we go. This is also a really satisfying puzzle if I can get it first try for you. We're gonna draw a little star with our boomerang. And, Link fell in the lava on the, that actually, is unfortunate.
Oh yeah,
because
that canceled the boomerang coming back.
Yeah,
I would also to go with Jim, to give Jim some love here. I do think the Gale boomerang is a pretty good boomerang. It lets you fly.
It sure does. That was unfortunate, and also the game knows I'm on the GDQ channel. That's never happened before.
Yay!
Always on the GDQ channel.
There we go. I didn't need to. Come on. Okay, we're gonna heal. There we go. The keys are very annoying because, well, most enemies in this game have a pattern that they will follow, that you can kind of predict where they're gonna go next. The keys do not. So we have to, excuse me. we have to kind of play by their rules to try to hit them with the boomerang. But luckily the boomerang does take them out. It doesn't just stun them like it does with a lot of enemies. As you can see also that a lot of the beginning of this game is like damage boost strats. So I kind of have to babysit my health total and see where I can save little bits of time like that, and where I can heal. And the boomerang is also excellent for quickly healing. The big keys in this game are very silly. They are so heavy that Link has to pick them up over his head, and he's really slow while he's carrying them. This is luckily actually probably one of the longest sections of just throwing and running after the big key that we're ever gonna have in this game. It's just kind of teaching you how the big key mechanic works. And after this, it really gives you them in either more creative puzzles or shorter puzzles. And now we're going to go already into our first boss. And this boss is going to expect me to count to 3, which is very hard because I'm a speedrunner and I don't count. That's what timers are for. But here's Blaz. So I'm going to try to count on the top screen what order I have to grab his little minions in. You can see that they are labeled 1, 2, 3. Oh, sometimes they get in a bad sort of formation and they will like auto collect the wrong one out of order. But there we go. And now we're gonna try to sort of manip them so that they don't do that by running in the center of them. I'm also trying to like very carefully get Link going in the correct direction while I'm quick spinning, because since Link is left-handed, there's actually a very small portion of the circle that deals 2 hits per quick spin. So I'm trying to like, anytime I quick spin an enemy, if it has more health than would survive 1 quick spin, we're trying to get it a little bit to Link's left so that Link will hit him twice in one go around to just eke some extra damage out of him. We're obviously going to be picking up our early heart containers. We'll be picking up the late ones too for safety, but we're going to pick up the early heart containers because they really help in saving a lot of time by letting us do extra damage boosts. As I said, we'll be doing a lot of damage boosts in our early dungeons to save some time. And now we just have our final cutscene on the island, talking to them and being like, yep, I need to go collect the spirits. I found one of the spirits during that cutscene I skipped. And the spirits are going to, they're the little fairies. They're gonna let us get deeper into Temple of the Ocean King. So now we can head back and go to Temple of the Ocean King 2. And we'll go a little bit deeper and get to see a lot more of the mechanics. We also kind of skipped over how the boat works. Unfortunately, I'm really sorry, Jim, we can't super swim in this game. To my knowledge, but also
this is unfortunate.
Link can't swim in this game, so if there's
I was gonna say, I think if Link goes into water, he just voids out. So
yeah,
it is wild that they just forgot that Link. He just forgot how to swim since Wind Waker.
Yeah, listen, I can't swim either, so he makes me feel seen. However, there is lots of boat movement, and this is one of the honestly more fun things about running Phantom Hourglass. Hopping with the boat saves something like 3+ minutes over the course of the run, just constantly hopping. So this is not just me being bored and tapping my screen. This is actually significant time save. And also, it's kind of fun. That is definitely what would happen if you put a 10-year-old in charge of a boat.
True.
If the boat could hop. I don't know how the physics.
Wouldn't he be 11 in this game?
Is he 11?
I think he'd be like 11.
Okay, 11's still young enough.
It takes place like 6 months after Wind Waker, not even
Something like that.
Yeah.
So maybe he had a birthday. Maybe he didn't.
We're gonna now pick up the titular Phantom Hourglass in The Legend of Zelda: Phantom Hourglass. And it's gonna change how the Temple of the Ocean King works. That, as we were saying earlier, it's gonna introduce our timer mechanic, which kind of makes this a speedrunner's dream. That for however much sand we have, it will determine how much time is on our hourglass. And for that amount of time, we will not take damage on the spicy floor. And we can freely explore deeper into Temple of the Ocean King. Every time we beat a boss, we're gonna get more sand for the hourglass, but considering that this is a speed run, I really don't need the sand. I just need to beat the bosses because I need to beat the dungeons and get the dungeon rewards. We're barely gonna use most of the sand. However, there's our fancy hourglass animation. Get used to seeing that. 10 minutes. This will not take 10 minutes. Here's our new fairy. I think his name is Leaf. I'm pretty sure the other two fairies are Leaf and Neri? Shrug? We don't use them. You can set them to be your cursor. If you're playing casually. We obviously don't do that because it doesn't save time, but you can set them to be your cursor and to be your little companion, but we just stick with Ciela. Ciela is good enough. And now these are gonna introduce the phantoms of Phantom Hourglass, and our goal is to not get caught. If we get caught by a phantom, it will teleport us to the beginning of the room, it will remove a heart of damage, and it will also remove, I believe, 1 minute from our timer. Yeah, I explained all of that. So we're gonna try to, ooh, hold on. We're gonna try to play nice with our little phantom friends. Let's see if we can, oh, we have plenty of time. We're gonna try to play nice with them, but also the starting phantoms are, a little stupid. Oh, where'd he go?
Where did he go?
Oh, he's over there. We're gonna step on our little switch. Open the door to get our small key. Oh, they lost me again. There's our small key. Oh no, I got hit. Oh dear.
Oh, no.
What's that gonna do? Teleport me back to the beginning.
I like how the second one just froze while the first one walked away and walked through him. That was pretty good.
They're not very smart. They will get smarter as we get further into the dungeon. Also, this is the only floor that in the game that is not going to change no matter what items we get. Whoops, did not mean to do that. But that's just because the boomerang is so broken. We do not actually care that he saw me there. That's totally fine. Because as I said, boomerang through walls. You're supposed to do a whole other half of that room. We never will. We'll do this room like 3 times or something like that. And it's never gonna change because the boomerang is too broken. Now we get to what I like to call the Tringle floors. They're called Force Gems. They're definitely not pieces of the Triforce. Totally not, but we have to collect them all and bring them to the center. Again, these phantoms are pretty stupid, so they are gonna see me moving the force gems around and they don't actually care about it unless they see me. So I just threw that gem right in front of that lad and he did not care. And I can get away with
business
stuff like
as
that.
usual, it seems.
Yeah, that's totally fine. He doesn't care if he can see the gem as long as he can't see me. That, again, is early game privilege. That will not be the case forever. Gotta grab our key. Whoops, or not our key. This is our key. Grab our force gem, our Tringle, and then our key. And just like the big keys in the dungeons, Link walks really slow while he's carrying the gems. So we're just gonna throw them to ourselves. And it's kind of gonna make dealing with our phantom friends a little bit interesting. Once again, he doesn't care about the gems right in front of him in his pathway. as long as he can't see me. And all of these floors, because of the phantoms, are going to be, like, a lot of Temple of the Ocean King is going to be cycle-based. So I knew where the phantom was going to be based on my timing for the rest of the puzzle, so I can try my best to always be doing something, not spend a lot of time waiting for him. But this is going to be our second trip through Temple of the Ocean King done. We can go get our reward for it. We are going to have two more normal trips until we get to our final trip. Will be the 5th one, which the final boss of the game is at the bottom of Temple of the Ocean King. But for now, it's just going to give us our charts each time we complete a section. And oh no, that chart is all dirty. Any ideas how to fix it?
We could throw it in the water.
I feel like it might dissolve.
So that'll get the
it
dirt
might be
off.
paper. Oh, yeah, it would get the dirt off. It might also take the map off.
Oh, yeah, that wouldn't be good, huh?
I don't think so.
Do you think
Could we import the Gus Bellows?
we can import the Gus Bellows or the Gus Jar? I think y'all had a Minish Cap run yesterday. We could do that. Or I could implement my own version of the Gus Bellows. Courtesy of Lineback, have you considered that I might be the Gus Bellows?
What? That's crazy.
They're
Well,
like, hey,
it
we have a
worked.
microphone. We should use it.
We really use every part of the DS here. And by DS, I mean Wii U gamepad. So
I'm actually curious.
Yeah, what's up?
Have you ever tried to speedrun this game on an actual DS, or have you only ever tried on Wii U Virtual Console?
I personally have only done it on Wii U Virtual Console. There are people who run it on DS. DS is slower for Phantom Hourglass because there's a trick I'm gonna do later that is doable on Wii U Virtual Console because we can use the suspend menu that comes with the Wii U Virtual Console to frame perfect buffer the trick, which takes it from a TAS-only trick to just being very, very difficult. On DS, it can be completed, but it is ridiculous and really not doable by a human under really any circumstances other than blind luck. But DS actually has a little bit of its own time save in the fact that the trick that I'm talking about that saves like 5-6 minutes, something like that, is English exclusive. Because it is reliant on a cutscene that is only in the English version, which does mean that there are more cutscenes in the English version, meaning if you are running on DS, you can get a whole lot of free time save over the course of the run by swapping to Japanese, where certain cutscenes are just missing. Nobody knows why. They just cut out a bunch of tiny cutscenes. Okay, or you don't... Rad. Thank you.
Yeah, I know that in Wind Waker, there's also a case where, like, the English has more cutscenes to some degree than Japanese, which is interesting.
Yeah, it's very odd.
So really, this game is just Wind Waker again, as we've established.
Yes, of course it is. This area is called Bomb Garden. We're gonna... Oh, that'll work. Gonna play with some bombs. We're gonna knock 200 rupees out of this tree. There's a cutscene behind that, don't worry about it. And that's really all of the rupee farming we're gonna have to do for the entire run. And we're going to immediately go into this building, and this guy's gonna be like, you can't pay for the cannon for your boat? That's 50 rupees. Why would a child have 50 rupees? And we're gonna go, we got it from your tree. And he's gonna go, what? And then he's gonna give us a cannon.
Man should really check his trees.
He should.
It just has 200 rupees lying in them. Also nice going back around the house.
For some reason, we don't have to go backwards through the island. We can just go behind the building. They didn't do the collision correctly there. Now, that was a little detour that the game didn't tell us to take yet. A good bit of this section is we're going to just do things in an optimal order instead of the order that the game is telling us to. It wanted us to go to the northwestern chart because in this game, unlike Wind Waker, where they are commonly called quadrants, but there's actually like 49 of them, something like that.
Yeah, technically they should be called sectors. But
in this game, they are quadrants. There's 4 of them. It's quad. Or you could also still call them sectors. That's still accurate. But if you're a stickler for pedantry, we do have quadrants. We can. They fixed that. That was a bug patch for Wind Waker. You can see that also. I have to use the cannon, but I like hopping. It saves me time, so I can just shoot the cannon while in midair and not have to miss my hops. But now that we have the cannon, we can go to the northwestern quadrant on this side of the map, which is going to spawn in the ghost ship, and it's also going to actually allow me to go to the northwestern quadrant. If I went on the other side of the rock wall, it would immediately void me out, and then it would tell me to go get the cannon. We don't need to do that. It wants me to chase the ghost ship, but you'll notice that I don't care. It wants me to chase the ghost ship into the upper left-hand corner of the next screen, which is very slow. And that would effectively, that's really that line, void me out. So instead I'm gonna opt for a faster way to void me out, and it will do the same thing. And the ghost ship is going to be a little bit confused because it's like, wait, why are you beelining it in the wrong direction? And the ghost ship, because we're going so fast, because we're constantly hopping, is actually going to match our speed. So it's just kind of pixel for pixel matching us right now and is still confused why we're not following it. And that's fine. We're just gonna turn here. That's gonna void us out because we left the like playable area, and it's gonna act as if we chased the ghost ship. Neat. Because we are not allowed to just flee that interaction immediately until after we void it out. But now we need to go get the shovel, which is for some reason an item in this game. I don't know. It feels very Animal Crossing. Oh, hi, that's an enemy. I will very rarely care about my boat's health. And will often ignore enemies if they're in inconvenient locations. The only thing I need to kill enemies for are there's a couple of interactions where I care about my boat's health and like a couple of specific sea journeys, because otherwise my boat gets healed at the docks every time I get out of my boat. And also I do want at least 200 rupees by a certain point in the game, which I'm currently, I believe, at 199. So as you can see,
I think that's correct, yeah.
I don't care that much. I will get there. Here's Melita. This is the only time in the game that we are required to say no at a dialogue option. No. Thanks. Linebeck doesn't like this island and wants to leave immediately for some reason, but you can just tell him no. We have to talk to a bunch of NPCs. Oh, hold on, I have to talk to him first. I forgot you talk to him, and now you run away and come back. There we go. It's a very silly interaction. And now we can go pick up our shovel and bail for later. This is another, like, kind of interesting theoretical time save. Somewhere on this map that I'm just entering now, there's actually a copy of an item, whoops, hello, that we're gonna need later in the game. Just out of bounds. There's like an extra.
Oh yeah, I've seen a video of there's just an out of bounds chest here that has I think it's like a key.
Yep.
For later, yeah.
It has the sun key, which is the reason why we need the salvage arm later. If we had a way to clip out of bounds and pick up that key early, we could single dip this island by going to immediately turn around and use it on the sun door, and sequence break and go into the 3rd dungeon. As it happens, we haven't found a way to do that yet, but we're working on it. We are working on it.
One day, it'll happen.
Maybe Link could put the shovel on the ground and climb up out of bounds with it. I think he should be able to do that.
I think he should too. I don't know if he can, but I think he should. But now we have our shovel. Oh, we got dizzy. It wants us to explore the island more and find the sun door. We're not gonna do that. We're instead gonna go straight back to the boat. And they're like, great, now we can chase down the ghost ship because you found this map that tells you how to navigate the northwestern sector. We didn't find the map, you might notice. It was on a wall somewhere, but I memorized it. So, you ready for me to
knowing the solution ahead of time.
Yep, basically. You might see those golden frogs dancing around. We'll play with them later, but for now we're gonna ignore them, even though they're very tempting to hit with a cannon. I don't want to hit that one with a cannon. Don't hit frogs with cannons. It's bad for the ecosystem, I think. Maybe. Anybody a frog expert out there?
I cannot say that I am a frog.
I wish. Yeah, I wish I was an expert on frogs.
All right, so here is our fun shape. Fun normal path to take, right? Just go. Did we go around a circle around one of those rocks for some reason? You cannot skip that. If we go out of line, the second we get to the bridge later on, that sort of, ooh, we hit over 200, yay.
Yay.
The second we get to the other side of the reef, it's gonna void us out. So we're gonna follow its stupid little path, and just go for a ride in the fog. Shoot squid, which is for some reason not bad for the ecosystem and good for my wallet. I don't really get that one.
Alright, so Pippi.
Yes, what's up?
How would you feel if there was a way discovered to get the sun key out of bounds chest early?
Yeah.
But it did not work on Virtual Console.
I would be sad because that would mean I need to buy a DS capture board, and I don't have one, and they're expensive. I'd still probably try it.
The DS, the DS ones are actually pretty cheap.
Really?
See, I think they're only it's still $50, but that's much cheaper than the $200 3DS ones.
I mean, even $200 sounds not nearly as bad as I've heard what some people paid for it. But if it did make me play on DS, I would do it for the love of Phantom Hourglass. If it saved time. Finding the sun key early probably wouldn't remove the time save for doing warp displacement, which is the trick we're gonna do later.
Right, that's
that is VU exclusive, essentially, and also English exclusive. However, we might run into Beetle. No! Randomized Beetle time loss! No, we don't want to board Beetle's ship.
I was gonna say it's interesting that there's an English exclusive trick. Usually it's the Japanese exclusive or sometimes the European exclusive.
Yeah, because usually they patch things.
Yeah.
But yeah, in this case, the fact that the extra cutscene was added is what makes the trick possible.
Yeah. But welcome to the Isle of Gusts, by the way. There's a wind cycle that we're dealing with.
Oh my god, are we gonna get the gust bellows here?
That's not in Wind Waker.
Oh. But I like the gust bellows.
But I'm the gust bellows.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I forgot the microphone is the gust bellows.
So we have the gust bellows already. And by we, I mean me. I have the gust bellows. They're called lungs. Ow, that mini blend just stabbed me in the butt. I didn't like it. This is one of the hardest movement sections in the game, and you will see why. Hey Jiggy, how do you feel about Dune?
Like the movie?
Like the movie?
Like with that guy who with Chalamet, that guy?
Yeah, like that one.
Yeah, he's in another movie that is coming out soon. I don't really know what it's about though. I like Dune. I think it's got Big Worm.
Yeah.
It does have Big Worm.
So
Yeah.
we're gonna play Dune. This is Dune. Don't take that one. This is gonna turn into Dune, and it's gonna be very scary because big sandworms, as it turns out, are very scary.
I remember these worms. Yeah, they are rather scary, and they're in. Is this the dungeon where they exist prominently?
Yes. We will be going to that dungeon. Post haste. Oh, I've gotten caught.
Yep. I think there's supposed to be like-likes in this game. Is that what the bit is? Is there supposed to be like
no,
like-likes?
Actually, we will see like-likes later.
Oh, okay. So they're not like-likes.
I'm gonna pick up some safety help. Ooh, good. We snuck by that one. So I guess we did get the gust bellows, which is I have to play with the microphone more. One time getting grabbed in that section is honestly about average. That section is really hard to do perfectly because the worms move faster than you do, so you kind of have to juke them out. And we like to say around my stream that if I get through the entirety of this dungeon and the section before it without getting grabbed, I am the Quisat's hat rack instead of the Quisat's hatterack. It's a Dune joke. It's very funny. Ha 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 ha. Nice.
I've unfortunately only seen Dune one time because it was like a 9-hour commitment, so I couldn't get that joke.
I'm very sorry. I hope that the Dune fans find it fun.
Yeah.
This joke about hats. I like hats, if anybody did not notice. I have a lot of hats. We were just off from the optimal cycle because we got randomly nabbed by a Keese. Unfortunate, but that's okay. We got the next optimal cycle. And, oh, my boomerang missed someone. There we go. Nice quick combat room. This game has a lot of those little combat rooms. I'm not really sure why. Like, Nintendo just decided they really liked them. For some reason. These little, I guess Wind Waker kind of has them too, but not quite as formulaic about it, right? They've got like the combat trial islands, something like that.
There are just a bunch of islands on Wind Waker that are combat cave.
This section is teaching us kind of how to use bombs. I wonder if it's foreshadowing for the fact that we're about to get bombs. Maybe.
That would be crazy.
Wild. Bombs actually are super useful for like bomb boosts and stuff like that if this were Spirit Tracks. But for some reason between Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks, they actually overhauled entirely how bombs work and introduced a bunch of bugs. In Phantom Hourglass, they do not give you upwards momentum and thus cannot break things. Except for the things that they're supposed to break. So we will not be doing a whole lot of bomb-based shortcuts. We will be doing more sandworm avoidance, though, because we have to dig up these specific spots on the floor. I'm gonna spend a little bit of extra time sort of babysitting what directions they're gonna run in to try to make them hit the part of the floor that they can't cross so that they won't catch me. Excuse me. Oh, hopefully we're fine. Hopefully we're fine.
I believe. You're going to escape.
I'm like constantly trying to do the input so that I get. Oh no.
Oh, darn.
Link just got confused with the shovel. That's okay though.
Oh, did he try to dig?
He was like not digging where I told him to. Like I just was tapping and he wasn't digging.
Yeah.
And so he wasted a little bit of time. So the sandworm got a little too close to me. That's fine. We're gonna align these little pinwheels. Unfortunately, we can't really skip much of these early dungeons. As I said, you have to wait until the second half where we can just kind of blaze our way, skipping like over half of dungeons. But for now, we'll go through. But while I'm moving some pinwheels, how are y'all doing? How are you feeling?
I'm doing good. I don't know why I had this random idea. Hey, Jiggy. Is Jiggy here? Oh, maybe he's not here.
Hi.
Hey, Jiggy,
I am here.
How do you feel about? For some reason, my mind kept on thinking about this because of the Dune reference. How do you feel about Oops All Sand?
Wait, so like we would get like we have to do we'd have to do Star Wars Episode 1
that are all
Racer
based in deserts or something. I don't know.
I mean, the new Metroid game would fit into that.
That's true. You could show off the new Metroid game at Oops All Sand.
Yeah.
Yeah. I Oops All Sand could work. There's a couple of desert only games. I would definitely want to get one of like Episode 1 or no, I guess it would be Episode 2, the game Star Wars, where we have Hayden Christensen saying like, I don't like sand. It's coarse, you know. We gotta get that. There'd be a couple fun games that Oops All Sand. Journey be a good one. Yeah, I see that. Post your sand video games in the chat right now or in the YouTube comments.
Oh, we got beepless. I feel so cool. There was a timer there, but I was so already past where I was supposed to be that the timer did not even start. It doesn't make the single beep. We're gonna do a fun little weird boomerang trick. Oh, hold on. There we go. Second try. You're supposed to wait for a bomb to go off in order to do that, but with the boomerang, we can skip that and get our boss key. Oh, by the way, we got bombs. What a surprise. We're now going to fight the dumbest boss in this game. I love him because I think he's adorable and charming. His name is Cyclock. He is the stupidest boss in this game. This game has got some really good bosses. I think they're really clever. Cyclock is not one of them. He's a dumb octopus in the sky. I guess he's an Octorok. We're gonna refill on bombs and
we're gonna quick spin.
Yeah, apparently. Here comes Cyclock. Look at him. He's so cute. I don't know why an Octorok is the stirrer of winds, but our best damage option right now is bombs.
This is just Vadi. They just said, what if Vadi? We
just absolutely unload on him with bombs, and that is the entire fight. Okay, it picked this one. Actually, really good RNG.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this seems like it's pretty fast. He's not hovering in the air for too long.
Wow.
He can give himself invulnerability, which is some bad RNG, or he can choose to be just out of range of your bomb, which is a little slow. But that was optimal RNG. That was the fastest the fight can ever be, is he just immediately goes over. I could technically have saved a little bit of time that he'll always go to the far little cyclone spot first. That'll always be the one that has the cyclone first. But then afterwards, it has about a 50% chance if it takes the left path or the right path. And if you pick correctly, you can save like a second or two. But overall, that was like pretty darn perfect. And now we're done.
I was actually curious, is that fight normally only 2 cycles? Or did you like throw bombs so fast that it became 2 cycles.
If you use bombs, it will always be. No, I don't want beetle shit. If you use bombs, it will always be 2 cycles.
Okay.
I like that you're chasing the ghost ship and Beetle is chasing you.
He is. That actually is dependent on what time of day you are playing the game at.
Really?
Yeah.
Like real life time?
What time
human?
my Wii U thinks I'm playing the game at. So
wow.
That is why I'm running into
That's interesting.
him. We're gonna try to do a little trick right here. There's an island that I'm sailing towards that is not on my map. You can see it out of my camera there, and we're gonna turn the camera around. Now that I'm inside the dock, and Ciela's gonna go, there's an island over there, and it's gonna skip an entire like 15-second cutscene of like the camera panning, and Ciela going, oh my gosh, let's go explore it, and immediately shoved me onto the island because I was already inside of the dock when the like map icon for the dock spawned. That was actually a really clean one. Usually, if you're coming in at the wrong angle, oopsies, then you'll like crash into the island and it'll still work. It's just extra funny because Ciela will be like, look, an island, and I'm like, yeah, I know, I just crashed my boat into it. This is actually casually one of the most fun puzzles in the game. If you haven't played this game casually, I'm not going to spoil it for you. But the game wants you to solve a little riddle that tells you how to solve the island. And the way you solve the riddle is by running around in like the perimeter of the island and drawing the map. This is the uncharted island until you chart it. You are the map maker now. It's very cute, and I really like this puzzle. But of course, the solution is always the same, so we don't actually have to chart the map. We just kind of do the thing.
We just know the solution ahead of time. Very powerful speedrun strategy.
It's actually a really fun thing in like Phantom Hourglass in general, because you can interact with the map so much, and you will see it later, we can draw on literally any map. You can doodle whatever you want. You can write yourself notes. You can note where things are. It asks you to do a lot of puzzles that involve going and looking where fixtures are in the, like, real full world and then noting them down on your map. But because of that, it means that a lot of the puzzles are reliant on permanent map fixtures, which means that most of the puzzles have deterministic solutions, which means for a speedrun, we can skip them by just knowing the solution. Whereas like a decent amount of games might make that not a deterministic solution, have a randomized order every time. That's not going to work.
I do like that because then I could just ask my chat for the solution. That was really nice. But one thing that, you know, this game is kind of weird where it's like all the dungeon songs are the same, and it hurts my soul.
Yeah, unfortunately, the music in this game is my one big gripe with it. Hopefully, we won't run into Beetle again. 3 Beetle encounters in. Okay, we're not running into Beetle again. We're actually gonna start hitting these golden frogs because we're gonna. I hit a bird.
Well, I'm sorry, bird.
But I'm just going to do a save warp to get out of that situation very quickly, because I only needed to hit that frog, and those are our fast travel system. You're gonna see still a decent amount of boating, but I'm never really going to retrace my steps very much after a certain point in this game because the fast travel system is great. We can use those little frogs to sort of teleport to waypoints, like throughout the game, and so we are going to be grabbing a decent couple of those. There are more that we don't grab that are in some like weird other sections that I'm sure they like grab in Hundo, but we will be grabbing a lot of them just to speed up our traversal. And this does, because now the fog is gone, we can go back and forth between the north and south portions of this map very easily. That does mean that we are kind of free to just... I actually don't care about my health total. I had to think about that. Absolutely do not. We are free to just go south and go back to Merkay, which is our sort of starting island, where we can go for our third Temple of the Ocean King visit. And I am told that this, we're on something called GDQ Hotfix right now. Is that accurate, Jiggy?
That is very accurate. We're on the GDQ Hotfix Oops All Zelda weekend.
Yeah. I've been told a little bit of information about GDQ Hotfix, and one of the things that I've been told is that y'all like to take a little sanity breaks, and that this might be a nice time for a little sanity break. Is that good by you? A little.
Yeah, I think this would be a great spot. We're going to take just a quick break, but when we return, we're going to jump into the next part of the Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass. We'll be right back. Folks, welcome back to the GDQ Hotfix Oops All Zelda weekend. We are going to jump right back into Phantom Hourglass here with Pippi in a top hat. Pippi, what are we doing? Where are we going? And what's happening?
We are currently standing in a room with bad music holding a pot over our head. That's what's happening right now.
Oh.
But...
Okay. All right. Well, whenever you're ready, let's do it.
All right. Are you ready for action? In 3, 2, 1. Let's go. We are actually entering the... Temple of the Ocean King visit number 3. So we're gonna be able to get a little bit further this time, both because we have Neri. I think her name is Neri. Don't judge me. I am not a Zelda lore person. And also, as you saw, we have bombs, so we can get through this floor very quick and easy. We don't have to do the whole boomerang and getting caught puzzle again, which is nice because I'm at much lower health this time. I don't actually I'm not at really lower health. I'm just at low health. I'd prefer to save that for future damage boosting. Once again, we get to do this floor, which I said would not be changing, and it won't be. Boomerang still breaks it wide open. But we can still just ignore it. But we now can get to, if you saw, there was a door after the section where we stopped last time that had a little symbol on it. That door was waiting for us to have Neri. So since we have Neri now, we can go continue on deeper once we get there. This floor is also going to be very similar to our previous visit, except a little bit faster because we have the shovel. The shovel making things faster, though, also makes our cycles a bit tighter. Oh, I can fix this. That's how we're going to fix this.
Oh, no.
No, a whole minute is gone.
Yeah, I mean, would the other way of getting rid of those flames have just been to go back into a safe zone? Or...
Yeah, unfortunately, we are going to have to wait a little bit because of that. Getting caught is kind of the best way to get them back on their path.
Oh, that's right, because, yeah, certain cycles need to be hit.
Yeah. Unfortunate, but that's okay. It happens. I was being greedy, and sometimes when you're greedy, you get punished for it. But that is perfectly fine. Oh, hold on. Excuse me, Mr. Spikes. There we go. There we go. Because we still do want our small key. As you can see, I didn't have to go get, pull the lever to do that whole section this time because I have the shovel. The shovel is actually a really weird item, in my opinion. I loved it playing this game casually because you can just kind of dig wherever you want. It's like the same joy I had as a child making little, patterns on the ground in Animal Crossing with the shovel. You can mostly dig wherever in the game you want. However, It's not really a combat item. It doesn't have a whole ton of functionality. It doesn't get used most creatively. If we're talking about like the most like unsung item in Zelda games, like we mentioned the Gust Bellows earlier. The Gust Bellows are like such a weird item in Skyward Sword because like how do you optimally use the Gust Bellow? Like they don't get used very creatively. There we go. Get some safety health. Or like the spinner in Twilight Princess doesn't get used a lot. It's the shovel in this game. I don't know what you do with a shovel. This game
in the
does
spinner's defense, it is very fun to ride around on the spinner.
Oh, it is. Definitely.
Yeah, after the dungeon where you get the spinner, it's not used very much.
I still argue that Twilight Princess should have had the spinner speed be the fastest movement speed in the game, so that optimally you would have to ride around on the spinner. It would be very funny.
I agree, but this would probably break things, and the developers most likely didn't want that. But
oh, heck yeah. That's actually a really hard shot to set up.
Very nice, very nice.
Got it first try, which we love. We are now going to bucket past this guy. He's gonna go, hey, wait a minute. Oh, that guy saw me. It is possible to get through this room without getting spotted at all. It's very, very difficult. I do not have any fear of getting caught in this room, honestly. So I just kind of can ignore it. Go on about my merry day.
So
yes.
in the Temple of the Ocean King, I know that the gold pots give you like extra time in the Phantom Hourglass. What are the red pots?
Good question, actually. I have to remember the colors correctly. I should know colors, but I believe the red pots, if I'm thinking correctly, are safe zone pots. They just contain like a bubble of safe zone that you can throw.
Oh, okay.
That if you like throw it at a location, it gives you one like tile's worth of safe zone. In order to like be able to hide really quickly. We will be using one of those later, because hey, why not? I have a question for y'all. How do you feel about safety? Do I get the safety potion?
I think no.
Okay.
No potion. Don't do it.
We're leaving. Jiggy said no.
All right.
No safety.
No potion.
No safety potion. I hardly ever get the safety potion, so I am totally fine.
Well, I did also, after I said that, I saw that you had 2 hearts, and I'm like, uh-oh.
Oh, we would not use it now. Don't worry about that. That was an hourglass, by the way. The handwriting recognition in this game is interesting. It will get more interesting. This is one of the cutest puzzles in the game casually. However, it kind of loses quite a bit of its charm doing it on Wii U, because there we go. I closed the DS. The puzzle asks you to press these 2 items together. And if you have a DS, you do that by closing the DS, which puts the game to sleep, and then opening it again. It goes, oh my gosh, you pressed the items together. That's so funny. That's so cool that you did that. But if you're on Wii U, you just have to put the game to sleep, and the only way we have to do that is by opening up the suspend menu that I did right there, which isn't really pressing the items together. It just kind of lies to me. And it's like, wow.
I was so sad.
Yeah.
I was when I did that, I was just like, how do I close the Wii U gamepad?
Yeah.
You can do that, but only once.
Yeah.
True.
You have to get a second Wii U gamepad and put the screens together.
Yeah, slap them together. We're going to be getting next our most commonly used warp point on the way to this island. He should be spawning here any minute now. Friend. We're going to try to force him to spawn.
Maybe we'll hit another bird again in the process.
Will hitting the birds help? Excuse me. He's being spicy. Their like spawn radiuses are very weird. And they're sometimes like time dependent. Like sometimes they'll take longer to spawn. There he is. I'm just gonna redraw my line. There we go, perfect. A little bit of a rude frog spawn, but there we go. I don't know why they're so happy after they've just been hit with a cannon. Typically getting hit with a cannon does not make me happy. Oh, we haven't, it didn't take my go, I see. But I'm not a frog. I'm also not a frog expert, once again. We're gonna get to do now, I said earlier we were gonna be doing a microphone manip. This is our microphone manip. First of all, don't get hit by the dancing mailbox. Good. I'm gonna cover the microphone during this next conversation, which is going to suppress the room tone. So basically it's gonna think that I'm in a very, very quiet room. So now, it's gonna think that that is the loudest noise it's ever heard because it was comparing it to absolute silence. And it's gonna give me credit for it, even though, like, I don't know, that was a little bit loud, but not that loud. That trick basically, like, makes a very silly part of the game absurdly consistent. It kind of, like, it used to be that people would use a can of compressed air to do that because he wants to charge you a variable amount based on how loud you are. He can either pick 200 rupees, 300 rupees, 1,000 rupees, or no, I'm not selling to you, you're too quiet. So obviously we'd like 200, which is what he gave me right there. 300, often people will collect extra rupees if you're concerned about it to, like, you can make that. It's just you have to put in a little extra effort. We cannot make 1,000 rupees over the course of this run. It does not happen. My last fun fact about that trick is that it is my only contribution to Phantom Hourglass speedrunning. I found out how to manip the microphone by holding it up to a heater.
Yeah, I mean, that is like a very creative solution, because if I had to do something with a microphone like that, I would have, like, I don't really think about, like, the technology of a microphone very much. It would not occur to me that the microphone was, like, profiling the ambient sound of the area to like determine whether or not the player was actually making a loud noise or not. But it makes sense, so
that'll be fine. We don't actually have to go to the island, we just have to get close. Yeah, no, it's a very funny trick. That whole interaction gave us the sun key, which is that thing that Jim was talking about earlier, that we could get potentially early by getting it out of bounds. That would skip having to do the microphone trick, it would skip having to go to the island at all, it would skip that salvage interaction. That is the only time you will ever see me use the salvage arm this entire run. I'm sorry if you were just so much a fan of the Phantom Hourglass salvage minigame. I say this despite the fact that I really know that I'm the only person out there who really liked the salvage minigame.
It's cute the first time.
Well, good news for you. Thinking it's cute the first time means you are perfectly equipped to be a Phantom Hourglass speedrunner, since we only do it once.
True.
Are you convinced to be a Phantom Hourglass speedrunner now, Jiggy?
No.
All right, I didn't get quite close enough to the island. This is gonna be our first, like, sort of island entry boss. We're gonna have a couple of these. It's kind of similar to how, like, in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, they'll often have, like, a boss before you can enter an area for the first time, like, for one of the dungeons. It kind of operates the same way. That's a wider circle than I needed. That's okay. Oh, really? We're being spicy. This guy should be perfectly consistent, but the way that his, like, decision-making works is very janky. So sometimes he just doesn't get manipped when he's supposed to. There we go. Good eye plant. I don't know what this is. Apparently it's a plant made by Apple.
That took me a second, but thank you.
Alright, we're gonna...
I mean, yeah, Nintendo does love putting eyes on plants.
They sure do.
At least in Zelda games, so...
And now he's gone. We will now have a couple of extra frames of interaction here. I'm sure that didn't cause an avalanche. You can just...
I don't know if the DS has enough processing power for the number of polygons you would need for an avalanche.
Maybe they're safe from that because of hardware limitations. That's the...
Also nice. We knew where the solution was.
We did. It actually intended for us to do that and find the sun door way earlier on our first visit. We didn't do that because we didn't need to. We don't need to find out where the sun door is. We can just go, okay, yeah, I know where the... Oh, spicy. I know where the sun door is. Sure, why not? So there is a trick here that some of you might have heard about. We like to make fun of it. Excuse me. There we go. Like to make fun of it. It's called tree clip. Trees are real. Something like 20% of the time or something like that. I don't know. People say that it's half the time. It's not. It's way less than that. The trees don't spawn incorrectly, and you can just walk through the island, and it saves like 10 seconds. Really? I did not
That's
mean...
funny.
It hardly ever happens. But even though I don't actually go for it in runs, you gotta go for it in the showcase. It's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
And now
inside.
Link is in the statue.
All right, let's turn this boy around. I'm actually also gonna go out of my way a little bit to grab this convenient part, because that was a little bit of calculated time loss, because that gives me enough health to go for a faster cycle once I'm inside this dungeon that I'm about to enter. This is Courage Dungeon. This is one of the hardest dungeons in the game, at least in a speedrun context, because this is kind of the point in the game where we're gonna start getting more and more broken items. But we don't have them yet, so instead we get to rely on damage. Oh, okay, we didn't get the second damage boost. Oh. Okay, we're just gonna be a little dicey. Don't worry. It'll be fine. We can heal later. But this is where we're gonna start getting some of our more late game items. And really, like, because of that, the game's gonna kind of amp up the difficulty. Ooh, nice. I got dizzy into a door. I'm gonna try to play this area super safe because I'm at low health now. There we go.
And the hitboxes with these guys are not cooperating.
They're awful. They're not where they visually are. But in a pinch, you can just do that. You can also kill them with sword, but it is actually, it takes more hits with your sword. And also sometimes they don't cooperate, and you essentially have to clip into their hitbox in order to hit them with the sword, which I don't have the health for at the moment. But now you're going to get to the rest of this dungeon, this dungeon's gimmicks, which is moving platforms, which means this dungeon is cycle-based. And we're going to have to try to make our platform cycles, which is...
Oh my god, it's just like Tower of the Gods.
It sure is.
This really is just Wind Waker.
It's Wind Waker, except this is a Pole's voice.
Not.
Blowing into the microphone
So scary.
is required to kill those things. It's actually not required. They have like 25 health or something like that. But if you blow into the microphone, they have 1.
I mean, that's a reference to Zelda 1, to anytime opposed voices on the screen.
Yeah, it's very cute. I like them. They're very clever. But I do have to, like, you don't technically have to blow into the microphone. You can just like make noise, anything. But you do have to activate the microphone at least a little bit in order to kill them. Which I don't think that is a mechanic that Wind Waker explored. So, you know, we can be a little special. We can be a little quirky. We're Temple of the Gods, but with microphone jank. We now get...
And square crystal.
Yeah. We now get introduced to our second type of carryable item, which is these keys that are not as heavy as a boss key or a tringle, and thus we can just kind of carry them. It will be faster than picking them up and putting them down. This section also is invisible.
And we know what the path is already.
Yes, we do. I really hope that actually hit. It should have. Oh no! Well, I guess we got to check. Got right to the end before I fell off. Did it check? Yeah, it worked. Okay, good. Sometimes if things get too far off camera, they stop working because this is a Zelda game and you have to be a little bit careful of that. Nintendo loves doing that, as we know. But now we have the bow. The bow is, ow. The bow is a pretty good combat item. It also can press switches, which we're gonna be using right here. This is actually a really cute puzzle idea. I really like it. You have to open the back of this room and go fetch the square crystal we used earlier, which is gonna close that door, and just bring it on over here to open the other door. We're gonna hope for good RNG on the little... Yeah, they can get in the way and make you drop the crystal, and it's completely random. Because they kind of just bonk off the walls at random. This is one of the hardest rooms. We're gonna really try to get a good cycle. Which you can only get... Ooh, that's really promising, actually.
That seemed really good.
Yeah, you can only get if you don't waste any time. Look at that. Look at that.
And it just looked like a normal cycle.
Yeah. All of the cycles are off if you miss the optimal cycle. We're gonna be really careful to murder these keys because they can knock you off. That was actually so clean. That's like one of the hardest rooms in the game right there. Gonna sneak by this, refill on health and arrows. We're gonna try to do a funny damage boost trick through here. Almost made it. You can damage boost your entire way through that guy if you're careful. This cycle, unfortunately, gets set when we enter the room and is awful. Anybody have the...
Now we wait.
Yeah, anybody have like the Wii menu music or like the Wii shop theme on hand?
Yeah, good stuff.
The Jeopardy music.
Yeah. Any of those do? Just some nice waiting music while we wait for this platform. Oh, come on. Oh, you're almost there. There we go. And we're gonna... there we go. There we go. And I'm also just going to boop that guy out of the way. Woo! We're gonna whoop. There we go. Go down this little arrow trail. That'll open our way forward. And we get one more Pole's voice. Very nice. We could get a refill on arrows. I really don't need it right now. We will need it later, but unfortunately, we have like a max of 20 arrows. How many arrows do you get in Wind Waker?
Your initial arrow max is 30.
I'm jealous.
In Wind Waker. Yeah, and the upgrades go 60, 99. Because in this game, the upgrades only go 30 and then 40, right?
I don't even remember. We don't get them in the run. Oh no! Oh wait, no, we got by it. We're good. Don't worry. I have to hit these eyes in a certain order. Oh no! Oh, hold on.
Oh no.
That's unfortunate. I was a little too far away. This room is very creative. Unfortunately, it's a little slow. Hello, eye? Oh, there you are. There you are.
All the way across the screen.
Yeah, you can just draw it into infinity and it doesn't care as long as I draw it close enough. There we go. Now we can bring it back to the beginning just by rolling off of it. And I'm going to go back, erase that line, and give us a nice long line across. Let's go wait for us to get on before it follows it, thankfully. And now we wait. Do, 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 do. Is this gonna get us a flag for copyright infringement? Am I close enough? Am I gonna get DMCA'd?
Thankfully, I think it was short enough that you didn't.
Good.
Yeah, we didn't trigger the copyright protection.
Good. But that was our boss key, and now we are right into our next boss. This is Crake. I'm gonna try my best. Crake is a punishing boss if you mess up anything at the beginning. So here we go. First, I want to hit him in the eye. Immediately. There we go.
Very nice.
And now we want to snipe all of his gems. Whoop, we missed one. Luckily, we got another shot. There we go. Perfect. If you don't get the one cycle on that, you get heavily punished. Let's... Okay. I'm also trying a little bit to not push my luck because there we go.
Very nice.
You can't get better than a 3 cycle, but you can get a little bit faster on the first 2 cycles there. But his armor tends to block a lot of your attacks, and it's kind of nonsense. And if you hit his armor too much, he's just gonna like turn around and nab you with his claw and chuck you across the room like you're an ant, I guess. I don't know. He does not care about you or my speed run. But yeah, that is our 3rd dungeon done, and we actually have one more dungeon, ow, sir, before we get into kind of the second half of the game proper. This is kind of a weird dungeon, because that one is almost impossible to avoid. We're going to go to the ghost ship. The ghost ship is what we've been chasing this whole game. It's where we're pretty sure Tetra is. I'm still gonna avoid the dancing mailbox. I don't want to get my mail. They keep trying to give me bills and stuff, and I don't want to do that. I'm participating in tax evasion, I guess. But we're gonna actually get to go to the ghost ship now, and the ghost ship is gonna be kind of its own dungeon. But first, oh no! We're gonna get attacked by pirates. Who could have seen this coming? This is Jolene.
I don't know.
I don't get to avoid her, so we just get it over with as fast as possible. And now we're going to fight Jolene. This fight is mostly RNG, so hopefully she gives us good RNG. No? 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 No. No.
And she really,
Okay, there we go. I have to do it one more time. No. No. This is hilariously bad. No.
Yeah, it's gonna be like, what is like the average number of slashes that you expect?
Like 2. For the entire fight.
Right, so this is just like, what the heck happened?
Yeah. Yep. That was evil. Bye, Jolene. Thanks. She's like, man, I got beaten in a sword fight by an 11-year-old. Well, that sucks. And Lineback goes, hey, thanks for saving me. Here's $5. Thanks, Lineback. That was gonna be our first time getting to use our little warp pad. I just draw the shape and it warps me where I want to go. Because now that we've gotten raided by pirates, we can actually go to the ghost ship. So we're gonna just beeline it over to where we saw the ghost ship earlier. It wants me to go, I believe, to where the ghost ship disappeared, which is the top left corner of the map. But of course we didn't see the ghost ship disappear because I skipped that. Don't worry about it. And now we're going to enter first-person boat mode. That's the thing this game does for some reason. Our boat is gonna break down. There it goes. And the only way to fix it is by using our ferries to make first-person boat mode. This is the RNG portion of the run, where the ghost ship spawns, and thus how far we have to move to get to it, and also where and how fast it moves are all RNG. So let's see where it is. Oh, it's somewhere over here. Oh, very nice, actually. That's making up for the Jolene RNG.
Nice.
That's pretty good. But now we get to the ghost ship, actually, the dungeon. And this dungeon is going to be interesting. We have 3 escort missions in a row. To add on to that gross thing I just said, our friends that we will be escorting. Oh my goodness. Got some bad enemy spawns there. There we go. Our friends who we will be escorting are all scared of spiders. And if they see any spiders, they're gonna go eek, and then they're gonna stop moving. Additionally, if I get too far away from them, they are going to get separation anxiety, which is a mood, and they are going to stop moving. Ideally, we would like an eek-less ghost ship, and also one that is free of separation anxiety, partially just because that sounds unpleasant. So we're gonna go collect the other 3 Cubis sisters. I'm gonna grab both those. There's our first spider. We're gonna kill it. Oops. Because we're gonna have to come back this way, and it is just easier to kill it now. Head on down past the rats. We're gonna be a little bit careful now, fortunately, because we took more damage there than I would have liked. But that is okay, because guess what's in these pots down here? Health, among other
What?
things.
Health?
Health, yeah. They also can't move very quickly, unfortunately. So they're gonna wind up making us slow down quite a bit. I'm gonna wait here because this spider's gonna spawn. Grab some extra health. Grab that spider too. They have to see the spider for more than a certain amount of time, which is how I can get away with basically letting the spider fully spawn in on top of them sometimes, and them not getting freaked out.
Very interesting how they don't seem to take damage from anything, though.
Yeah, they're scared of spiders. They don't care about the I think those are supposed to be Poes dancing around.
Or the fire.
Yeah, no, they don't care about any of it. I'm gonna once again grab some extra health and then immediately waste some of it by running into a spider. That is okay.
It's part of the course.
Unfortunately, every time we leave and re-enter a room, the spiders are going to respawn. So I don't get to, like, kill a spider and have it be gone forever. Oh, excuse me. I spent a little bit too long on that spider. That is okay, because I would actually have to wait up here anyway. This is one of my favorite dialogue lines in the game. Ooh. I do have to be a little bit quick because I was behind on a cycle before. You do know which way is left, right? Yes. Smart boy, Uwu. There we go. We made our cycle. We just wanted to be in this little cubby before that skeleton guy turned so that he wouldn't see us and charge us. I'm gonna put down this crystal before that spider spawns so I can stabby to spider. Stabby to spider. Be very scared of that rat because of my health total. And those are just gonna be arrows, yeah, unfortunate.
I mean, if you were to die here, how far of a setback would that be?
This is actually one of the dungeons that punishes you the least for dying because it would just put me back at the... Oh my goodness. That scared me a little bit. At the beginning of the room, but it would leave all of my shortcuts activated, which is helpful. Why I'm not too scared of being at 1 damage away from death. Here we once again have a pattern to put in. However, it's always the same. I would have liked to kill that guy on that time, but the amount of time that he stays on the ground is randomized. So we will have to get him on the way back. Here's a little combat room full of spiders. I really apologize if anybody is arachnophobic. However, these spiders are little cartoon skulls. They're skulltulas, so hopefully they're not too realistic for anyone. We are not Twilight Princess around here. Except for Jim. Jim, you're Twilight Princess, right?
Yes.
You're an entire video game?
Twilight Princess.
Mr. Twilight Princess! Luckily, we don't actually need to care about a lot of these spiders because the way that the cycles work out, most of them will not be down on the way back. We're gonna walk this girl along. She's gonna tell us how to deal with the big scary phantoms that we've seen around, the ones that have like the little skull on them and everything. However, you might find that a little weird that she's the one who's in the room that doesn't have them, and she's telling us how they work. This room is supposed to have one, but it only gets activated if you push a button. We just don't push the button. I like to call that the kill your run button. We did push it, so we don't have to worry about cycles, we don't have to worry about anything. There we go. So far, we've had a pretty good... We're gonna rush by that guy over there so that I don't have to kill him, because once he's off screen, she doesn't care about him. Gotta kill that one. And I don't want to jinx myself because we're not all the way there, but we didn't have any eeks or separation anxiety. Huzzah!
Yay!
I'm now going to play tennis. This is RNG and not actually very easy. So, hey Jim, Jiggy, you want to chat about tennis while I play tennis?
I think that this is probably one of the top tennises of all time in the game in the Zelda franchise.
I do believe
definitely a tennis.
Yeah, I do believe this is the first time the game or the series actually refers to this as the dead man's volley.
It is, in fact, that is what I was told at the very least. We killed the scripted one. That was the first one. Now it's going to be random who has the ball. How long they hit it back and forth between each other, ooh, that was really nice, is random. How fast the ball is moving is random, and how many hits it takes for them to break the volley is all random. Also, that's random. That is, I believe, the link to the past community calls those blue balls. Excuse me, there we go. I missed my quick spin.
It's true.
They are just duds. We're also hoping to... Ooh, very nice. We want to kill 2 of them and not do any damage to the 3rd. So yellow is down. We're now down to blue and green. Oh, blue is feeling salty that we killed yellow, apparently. Well, that is time save if we can do it. It is completely random. I have no choice over it. It's just, will the game be nice to me or not? Okay, 1 hit on blue, so we want the next hit to be on blue. Who has the ball? Green has the ball.
And the tennis match continues.
Yep. Oh, blue.
The score is, I think 40 love. Is that a tennis term?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, something like that.
That sounds right. I feel like I've heard that said
30
in
love
sports before.
I really want it to be low. Oh my gosh. Can y'all stop? Still. Yay! We got the free time save. They just had to think about it. All right, so green gets a full heal for being the last one left, which is why we didn't want to deal any damage to green because it would be undone. But now green has 3 health instead of 2. And green shoots out 2 dead ones and 1 live ball each time. And we're just gonna kind of tank the damage from the dead ones. It is RNG where it goes, though. Oh my goodness, we missed one. That's unfortunate. That's okay. We get a heal. Excuse me, Link. Link did not want to attack there. We get a heal after this fight, so I don't really care about my health total other than being alive. There we go. Cubist Sisters down.
Goodbye.
Very spooky.
Here's the key.
Bye, ghosts.
Yep, and there is our key. Very, very nice. I'm just gonna pick up all the heart containers, even though we have a decent health total, just because Gauntlet in this game is not easy. But now that we have the ghost key, we can go into an area of the ghost ship and pick up Tetra. We're gonna save her, which means that the game should be over, question mark?
Oh my god, that's how it, well, that's not really how it works in Wind Waker, but she appears at the end of the game.
Yeah. And then there's gonna be a bunch of cutscenes, I'm gonna skip them. The cutscenes tell you that Tetra has been turned to stone. So.
Oh no.
They're like, wow, do the other half of the game. Okay, sure. I thought it was good enough that I got my friend back, but you want her to be alive too? Fine. You might notice I'm sailing into the nowhere. We're doing the same trick we did earlier with the Uncharted Island. We're trying to get to Zaz's Island, so I'm trying to angle myself so that I can hopefully sail right into his dock without having to ever see the island. Ideally, that's what we want. That's the island. I don't want to keep it on camera too long or CLO will notice. Might be a little bit too far left. We'll see if this works.
Not Navi, by the way.
Not Navi.
Not Navi.
Oh, darn it. I was a little too far to the left. That's okay. There we go. Had to move like 3 pixels over. Once again, I'm just trying to, every time you see a dancing mailbox, I have to avoid the space, not around it, but in front of it. Because the space right in front of it will cause a cutscene where somebody comes and delivers and hand reads my mail to me. I think that's actually a federal crime in the United States, but we're not in the United States, so apparently privacy as a concept does not exist. So they just read my mail. This is Zaz. Unfortunately, this whole conversation sets the flag that we are allowed to access the entire rest of the Temple of the Ocean King, so we do have to talk to him. But now is where we're gonna start breaking things a little bit, because the game really expects, even though it gives you access to the entirety of the rest of the Temple of the Ocean King, it doesn't expect you to do the entire rest of the Temple of the Ocean King in one trip. It is arranged so that you can, but it's kind of set up expecting you not to. It's expecting you to go down 3 more floors in the same pattern we have been going, and to then get the next map and then go get more items, 2 more like sort of units of sand for the Phantom Hourglass to extend the timer, and then to go back and do another trip to go 3 more floors down, where you would get the final map quadrant. We're going to get both of our map quadrants at once, which means that we are going to be kind of booking it through the dungeon in order to get there in time, since the game doesn't really expect you to do that until you have more items and time to spend. And then we're going to be using that extra kind of area that we get access to early to do the rest of the dungeons out of order, in order to get some late game items early, and kind of break our way through the rest of the game. This is where we kind of start to transition to a little bit more shenanigans. But it's gonna start out a little bit familiar. I'm gonna refuel on items for safety, because we are gonna need those. We're gonna start with some familiar floors. However, remember how I said that the phantoms are stupid? They're not anymore. These are...
Oh, darn.
Now they're here. They're smart.
These are the smart phantoms. The smart phantoms can pick up and put down the Tringles if they see them in their path. They're also much faster. They can outrun me. So I do not want to get seen unless I intend to get caught, or I am like right in front of a safe zone. On this floor, it's not going to really matter because we don't need to enter any of their patrol radiuses, really. Well, I guess we enter a corner of that guy's patrol radius, but he's not anywhere near. This floor is going to be just the same as it's been. Again, he heard me somehow. That's unfortunate, but that's okay. We don't actually care. He's gonna rush towards me, but I'm too fast for him. And fun fact, he also cannot come down here. He turns away. Don't worry, he's one of the stupid ones. He's still a stupid one, so we're good. This is where it's gonna start to get a little spicy. So this floor is going to be very different because we have the red phantoms instead of the blue ones. However, we also have the bow now. So I'm going to follow this guy. Wait for him to turn. Wait for that guy to turn. Throw my Tringle. Shoot him. Gonna sneak behind him. Give him one more shot. Pick up his small key. And now the only way that I can get rid of these guys at the moment is by dumping them in the void. So we're gonna get rid of him so I don't have to worry about that, even though I do have the small key now. And now we are on a very tight clock because Mr. Red Phantom on the left-hand side of the screen is still on his cycle. He is still on his path, so we would like to get all of our Tringles out of the way before he makes one more circuit around. So I'm really trying to book it here. We're actually super good on that cycle, though. Like, it's usually much scarier than that. We did kind of a phenomenal job on the first half, and it trivialized the second half. Very nice.
Very nice. Very nice.
Gotta chuck our 3 Tringles right up there. There we go. And now we get into our next set of rooms. Our next set of rooms, the combat room is kind of interesting because I believe it is the only room that really fundamentally changes every time you go there. It gives you different combat, but all the rest of these are going to be the same. I'm still going to use my boomerang to... Yeah, it's okay. There we go. You gotta kind of book it to... Oh, hello.
Oh.
There we go. To line up an angle. This guy is gonna see me or not see me. He's blind. He didn't consider looking to his left. Here's our combat room, which is going to be a little bit different. We're going to get different enemies. So close to getting them all. You can kind of hope that, because they all congregate in that one spot, you can hope to get them all, but you have to be very quick with the input because, unfortunately, otherwise, if you take too long, one of them is going to bounce into you and you won't throw the boomerang at all, which we did not want. We're gonna try to snipe these guys. We can kill them with one hit with the bow. If I can find their hitboxes, there we go. Excellent, excellent. All right, and Jim, Jiggy, how you feeling? Are we doing safety potion? Last chance.
No.
Okay.
You have so many hearts.
No safety potion.
I was literally waiting to I was waiting to see how many hearts you had.
There we go. And now we're going back to the crested door, which was where we drew a shape earlier. However, since we talked to Zaz, this door is now changed and wants a different shape. I drew a Triforce. This is the only time I've ever done a speedrun that had transferable skills from my real life. That is way easier if you are used to doing digital art, apparently. Just draw a Triforce, sure. This is going to give me a waypoint, so you will never see those early floors again, which is why that was our last chance to pick up safety health for the rest of the run, because we're not going back. The next time we come in, we're skipping the first 6 floors and going straight into the second half of the dungeon. We're completely done with them. And now we get to move into the later parts. I'm gonna grab some time here. It saves like a few frames because we're gonna have to watch a timer count later. And now we get to the Jingle Jangle floor. The Jingle Jangle floor, go jingle jangle. That's what the Jingle Jangle floor do. It makes me not able to hide. If anyone hears the Jingle Jangle floor, they're gonna book it after me. This is an invisible floor. Oh, hold on. No, it's not, apparently. This is an invisible floor. I missed. Luckily, this guy is stupid. So we can just throw our boomerang behind him, and it's gonna crash back into him on the way back. He's gonna go, hey, what gives? And then immediately give up on looking for us. We actually don't really care about getting hit here. We have plenty of health and plenty of places to heal. Over here, we're gonna book it over to grab this, our round gem. Because in this room and the one above it, these 2 rooms are linked. We go back and forth so many times I lose track. We're waiting for him to turn. There we go. He's gonna see me and go, hey, but we're gonna walk downstairs. These 2 rooms are linked, and so is the other one that we can get to below it. Like, all 3 rooms are essentially in one, and we need to collect 3 gems over the course of these floors and bring them all to the end. So the first one is gonna be a round gem, which we're also going to use to open up this pathway to start that and grab it. The stupid one's going to see us there, which is going to alert all his buddies, but we actually don't care because we can get here. We're going to chuck this across and go downstairs because this is going to get us our next gem. Whoops, did not mean to roll. And Ciella's gonna go, hey, look, woo! And we're gonna ignore her. But now we need to, this is gonna be the hardest part of this section, but also kind of the cutest. I'm gonna bring this guy right up and hopefully, chuck that right across. We're gonna wait for this guy to turn around, snipe him in his side, get behind him, and drop him into the void. Now we can do all of this section that you're supposed to have to do around his cycle without his intervention at all. And it's going to speed up this area so much. We're also gonna, that wasn't, excuse me. Thank you. Quite close enough to hit that crystal. This is gonna open up our doorway to get into our next floor. And our fastest way of moving with these crystals is gonna just be pick up one and throw it and then walk the other one to it. Oh, I hit a wall. That's okay. We're gonna walk down here, throw our crystals, and then talk to this little skeleton guy. He's gonna tell me that there's a riddle to this room, which we will have to solve, but once again, I already know the solution. That was a whiz robe, by the way. If you're familiar with Zelda, you might go, that doesn't look like a whiz robe, and I will say yes, it doesn't. But it's supposed to be a whiz robe. Okay, we're good.
Kinda looked like a Zatu to me.
I was gonna say it looked like a Pokemon.
It took me a minute to know what a Zatu was, and I was like, wait, isn't that the bird from Lion King? No, that's Zazu.
I'm not quite the same thing. Still a bird, though.
Still a bird. But... So we just solved the riddle that the skeleton gave us by placing those gems in order, and it causes that little earthquake to happen, which is going to give us access to the next 3 floors in the dungeon. But first, we're going to need our southeastern sea chart, which is where the game expects us to turn back, so it's going to give us the path back is going to be opened. However, we don't want to turn back, so we're going to continue. That tremor that was caused by the riddle being solved changes this room when we come back through the door. So we now have a whole different area to explore, but also we have new enemies. These guys are not as smart as the red ones. However, they can warp. And we are going to try to take advantage of that. They can still hear the jingle jangle floor, so I'm gonna walk really slowly, hit that guy in the back, grab some extra bombs just for safety. Pull out my bombs, and we're gonna try to do a really cute interaction. Here we're gonna use that red pot that Jim was talking about earlier. We're gonna wait for this eye to see me. And now we're gonna stand right here to set where the guy warps to. He's gonna warp right there, perfect, and we are standing right behind him. We're gonna step into the safe zone and hit him with a bomb and grab the key off of him, and then we're gonna book it out of here. Because these guys are not as fast as the red ones, and thus they cannot catch me if I just run for it. So we kind of get to ignore them. Oh no, I've been seen again by the eye monster, which we don't care about. Their warp animation is also so slow, we don't need to worry about them. They're not gonna catch me. So, done with that floor. Now we get to go into this one, which is a little bit more spicy. I need to pull some levers here to spawn some bridges, and I kind of have to babysit the cycles on some of these guys. I'm gonna carefully not trigger him with my feet on the floor. Spawn in our next bridge. Pull out shovel. Get up here before he comes back. And there are gonna be 4 of these switches in this room. We don't actually care about that. Oh, we accidentally killed him. That's fine. We don't really have to worry about their cycles very much anymore, because we can do this neat bank shot that's gonna spawn in that bridge, so that we
that was cool.
Don't have to worry about the timer at all. And then we can just hop down. He's gonna see us, but now we go into our final and hardest room. This is what I like to call the FedEx room. You'll see why. I have a package for delivery. Said package is a Tringle. I'm going to try my hardest to not have to deliver it myself. Delivering it myself is very, very slow. But these guys, I can stun them, but I can't kill them because there's no voids in the area. So I'm gonna stun this guy. Throw this. Carefully walk on the jingle jangle floor. Stun. Throw that. Keep him stunned because we like extra time. Be very careful about keeping him stunned. I'm now going to wait for this guy to round the corner. We're playing this a little bit safe. I could have gotten him there, but we'll wait for him to come back. There we go. Stabby, stabby, stabby. And now is where we're gonna call FedEx to do our delivery for us. So I'm gonna pick up this Tringle. It's gonna spawn in a red guy. And remember, these guys are smart. They can pick stuff up for us. I'm going to step onto the jingle jangle floor, which is gonna make him go, wait, you're here. But now he's not gonna see us. And the warp phantom is somewhere. We're gonna actually throw that further. He was too slow, so by the time he got here, the only thing there was for him to see was the Tringle, which he will pick up and deliver for us. I'm gonna be careful getting off the jingle jangle floor, but now that his delivery is complete, I can just pick it up off of him and take it the last bit of the way myself. Perfect.
Very nice.
It's one of my favorite tricks in the game. It's very funny.
I will admit, I was hoping that it was going to be called FedEx Room because there was a secret arrow in it somewhere that people didn't know about.
Oh, that would be so funny. That would be very funny.
I was just expecting someone to come and bring me a package and then just chuck it on the floor. You know, no care whatsoever. FedEx, not sponsored.
I mean, that is essentially what we did, isn't it? But now we are down at the bottom of the Temple of the Ocean King, and right behind me is the blue door. The final
the
boss
blue door.
is right behind that door. If we could clip through it, we could skip to the final boss right now. But we can't.
I'm going to call it.
Yeah.
Blue door skip is going to require changing the fairy color.
That would be so funny.
Somehow.
That would be so funny. I'd be so here for it. But yeah, now we're gonna leave. That has been our fourth visit to Temple of the Ocean King. And we're not coming back until we're ready to fight the final boss. Our next trick is going to be, this is where things get interesting. So as I'm making my way back to the boat, Jiggy, would you like to do our second break about now before we get to the weird stuff?
Yeah, that would be fantastic. All right, we're going to take just a short break, and when we return, we're going to jump into the next part of The Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Folks, welcome back to Oops All Zelda Weekend here on the GDQ Hotfix. Let's head back to Phantom Hourglass. Pippi, are you ready to rock and roll?
Roll. So is Linebeck. He says, now let's make speed and haul in some pure metal, and that is our goal. So if everybody is ready, somebody want to give me a countdown to unpause and hit go now.
2, 1, go.
Off we go.
I was really afraid to say 3 there, so I just skipped 3.
That works.
That's understandable.
3 is a scary
3
number.
is scary.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
3, I mean, if we're talking about some of the most terrifying numbers, I think 3 is pretty scary. I think 7 is pretty scary. And then, I don't know, I think 5 sucks.
Jiggy just hates odd
Sorry for all you.
numbers.
Yeah, it's true.
I was going to say, sorry for all you 5 lovers out there.
So we're gonna jump right into the hardest trick in the run, by far. This is might take a couple of tries, but we're gonna try our best. The trick is reliant on frame perfect radial entry, meaning there is a radius. It is invisible, and I need to frame perfectly press a button when I enter said invisible radius. That already sounds bad, but consider the fact that when I enter that button is dependent on the touch screen and how the touch screen feels like cooperating that day. So that radius is going to change every time I do the trick. So, wish me luck. But before we can actually do said trick, we are going to have to actually get there, and we're going to need all of the rest of our golden frogs for the entire run. So that's what I'm doing right now, is we're gonna go on a bit of a world tour to collect all of the rest of our golden frogs at once. Now, there's actual real risk of my boat falling apart during this section, which is why I'm going to be very, very aggressive about killing any enemies we see immediately. We're not gonna worry too much about those little eyes in the sky, except for the fact that they messed up my frog shot, because we'll be leaving the screen before they can get to us. But here is our next frog. He's gonna tell us how to draw a W. Keep that shape in mind. We will be using it immediately. We like W. That's a W. Keep that shape in your brain. You got that, Jim? Can you make a note for that for me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Type. Okay, W.
W. Now, if you see there's that giant reef around that island, that's where we're trying to get to. However, in order to get to it, we need to despawn that cyclone that is blocking it. Oh, there's our golden frog. Perfect. He's being nice today. However, we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna teleport to the inside of it. Now we have completed our world tour. That is a different shape. I like to call it a boot. I have no idea what it's supposed to be. But now that we've gotten all of our shapes, we're gonna work back to the northwest quadrant, which is going to take us right up here in between all of these islands. And I'm gonna actually sail to the Isle of Gust, because for whatever reason, this trick is very janky and is dependent on what island we landed at and left last. And we want that island to be the Isle of Gust. Here is our second pirate encounter over here. We've got a pretty good health total right now. Now, these mini cyclones are actually really important, owie. Because those mini cyclones have the radius I was talking about. It's a radius that sucks us up and moves us. Ooh, spicy. Don't worry, our ship is healed now. It sucks us up and moves us, and we are going to try to enter that radius and activate the slate at the same time. I'm going to, real quick, save my game. I'm not actually going to quit, though. I'm going to use 2 styluses to try to draw a semi-consistent line. And here we go.
2? Why? Wait, what? 2 styluses?
Yep.
Why?
Hold on. Oh, that might work.
Oh, that looks good.
Am I so skilled? That's a W, by the way.
W.
That's a W. I drew a W. Don't tell the government. We did it! Hey! I'm gonna draw that other shape I saw, the little boot. That one's not a W. That one's a boot. I drew a boot. I am now like 40 minutes out of bounds. Don't worry, we can warp back in bounds. I'm gonna draw that shape again. Not a W. That one's a boot. Remember, that one's a boot. I'm now at the origin of the map and inside the reef.
Yay!
I'm gonna pull out the salvage arm real quick because, fun fact, when you're in that really janky, we call that, ooh, hold on. We call that state warp displacement, where it warps you to the wrong location. But while you are in that state, you cannot sail the boat. You need to reload the map to be able to sail the boat. Luckily, if I pull out the salvage arm and then put it away, that reloads the entire map and makes me able to sail the boat. Okay, now I can answer your question. Why a second stylus? We can glitch out the screen by using 2 styluses at the same time to draw an exactly straight line between 2 points. That part is consistent. The problem is when you touch the screen with the tip of a stylus. The tip of the stylus is bigger than a pixel. So The tip of the stylus being larger than 1 pixel means that I can't consistently click on the same pixel, especially when I'm worried about 2 pixels at once. So sometimes I might be a pixel up or down, and obviously that translates to major differences in where the line is, because each of those pixels is representative of a lot more than 1 pixel on the actual ocean, which is why that setup is not entirely consistent, and I can't just time it based on having the same line every time. But hey chat, can I get a bit of a pop-off? Because yes, that trick's so hard.
Hype in the chat, let's go. I'm so pumped.
Also, this trick's adorable.
Oh, here are the like likes.
Yeah, we found these are actually rupee likes.
Oh, my bad.
There are regular likes, I believe, elsewhere, but these are rupee likes because they have rupees on their hats, which I think is why I'm Pippi in a top hat, because everyone is named after their headwear.
Ah, yes. Does that mean I don't have a name because I don't have headwear?
I'm so sorry that you don't have a name. I'm so sorry to be the one to tell you this. The movement of these rocks is completely RNG. That one flung me off the... That was interesting. Y'all, I'm so happy. All I ever want is to get... Oh, hello, that's water. Is to get first try warp displacement.
Once again, a reminder that Link cannot swim.
He can. He cannot do that. Here we are supposed to have gone to... That skipped an entire island, by the way. That's skipped what is called Island of the Dead. I'm just grabbing some extra health because we want a damage boost through a lot of this next section. We are now on the Island of Ruin. And we have to talk to all 3 brothers. That's Bremir. Oh God, what's the second one's name? I forget the second one's name. He's got a similar fancy sounding name, and then the third one is Max. And they're gonna tell me about King Muto, who is very angry and is also a ghost. And we need to go calm King Muto down. So this is gonna be our kind of dungeon entry puzzle. This area, is Doylan, right? Remir, Doylan, and Max. My favorite set of, what a dynamic trio they are. Good naming conventions. But we have to, unfortunately, do have to go talk to, don't attack the stairs, talk to all 3 of them. And here, Doylan's gonna give me the King's Key, which I can use to lower the water level to access the rest of the island. And this is gonna give me access to Muto's dungeon, or Muto's temple, which is our next dungeon. And as I said, this is supposed to be the last dungeon in the game. We are going to be completing all of the dungeons because we need all of the pure metals, since we don't have blue door skip, to be able to spawn in the enemies that, will open the blue door for us. That is the only reason we need to complete all these dungeons, and we are going to be doing this one early because it's going to give us the hammer. A hammer is kind of a pretty classic Zelda item, I feel like. How many games have a hammer? I know Wind Waker has a hammer. So, Jim, because Wind Waker has a hammer, you should know all about hammers, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know that in both Wind Waker and Ocarina of Time, you can swing the hammer through walls. So I'm sure we can do that here too.
That is true. A bit of foreshadowing. We're gonna do it a little bit differently though, because once I pick up the hammer, you are going to immediately notice that there is a massive difference between our hammer and other hammers in the Zelda series. And I'm not gonna spoil it, but it's a little bit of an interesting design choice and breaks the rest of this category wide open. And it's gonna really, we're essentially going to how long did we take? Ooh, got dropped there. How long did we take to do previous dungeons? I don't know. We got through like 4 dungeons in 2 hours or something like that. We're gonna get through 3 more dungeons in less than an hour. Is the goal. But thank you, Hammer.
It's what we call go mode, right? I've played.
Yeah.
I've done an arc pluggo again before.
So here's Max. Thanks, Max. We just needed to talk to him. He's gonna tell us that we need to do another door puzzle. There's so many puzzles to get into this stupid dungeon. But luckily, this next puzzle, you're supposed to like go around the island and make notes on where a bunch of things are or something like that. But I just referenced permanent fixtures on the map, which means that this solution is 100% consistent. You just draw a bookmark. That's it.
You do just draw a bookmark, yeah.
A little overzealous there. This will be our last fight before entering the dungeon. I'm just gonna try to stun them in. Oh, hello. Unfortunate. I did the hard part, which is stunning them both when they spawn in, and then messed up on the easy part, which is hitting them. I can't go too far away from their corpses when I kill them, because otherwise Nintendo's gonna do a Nintendo thing, and the second that they get off screen, they are going to despawn and not exist anymore and not finish their death animation, which means that they haven't actually died. Which means that the door won't open until I pull them back on screen and they can finish their death animation. This dungeon wants you to essentially do this first section in 2 halves. Dodged the... I'm impressed. We're gonna not have to travel back to do the second half. It wants us to travel all the way back to the beginning of this room. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna save warp. Just a little bit faster, cuts out some traversal time. Off we go. And now we're gonna do a bit of a tight cycle here. Perfect. If those keys get in the way, that cycle can get really, really hard because we're on a timer before the bridge disappears. But we need the timer to line up with that platform cycle. And luckily, if you're very, very fast, it just does so all on its own, which is exactly what we did there. Murder some more skeletons. And now we can get into the rest of the dungeon and go try to pick up our hammer. There we go. Now, this is going to be one of the classic Zelda thing. As I said, hammer classic Zelda item. This is a very classic Zelda dungeon where it's all going to be dependent on raising and lowering the water level. Excuse me, open the door. Don't hit the door with a sword. It wants us to basically tread through most of this dungeon twice. Because we want to tread through it once with the water level raised, and then once, Ruby-like, with the water level lowered.
They sure did say, well, what if we did a water level and it's the same as every other Zelda water level right now?
Yeah, we can kind of just skip through the uncreative parts, you know? That's all we're doing. So here's our hammer, and it looks perfectly normal. But you're gonna start to see what is interesting about it. It's a ranged weapon?
Ah, yes, the ranged hammer.
Yeah, I don't ever touch the hammer. I meaning Link. Ciela wields the hammer, not Link. So
when this happened to me, when I first played this game, this was this game's redeeming factor, was that the fairy's the one that slams the hammer down for you. It was the best idea.
Yeah, it's so good, and it also means we can do stuff like this. Just get the right frame. Oh, hold on. as Jim said, it wouldn't be a Zelda hammer unless it could go through walls. That's gonna open up this door backwards for us. This is supposed to be your way out of the dungeon. We're gonna grab some extra arrows because this is one of the harder tricks in the run. First try, let's go.
Let's go.
So I just lowered the water level through a door. We skipped half the dungeon doing that. We're pretty much almost done with it now. I used the bow to deload the door so that the arrow could pass through, and then reload just in time so that what I'm actually hitting with the arrow is loaded and can be hit. It's very hard, especially because I'm trying to aim it with my thumbnail instead of a stylus because my right hand is busy doing the rest of the trick. It's one of the tougher tricks in the run, despite the fact that that one's not frame perfect. That one is just kind of vibes. We're gonna fling some rocks around. This is just our boss key puzzle because, again, we skipped most of the dungeon. So we're already at the boss key. And I'm just gonna take this rock, pushy, 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 break the other rock, and there we go. And we're gonna bring this guy right over here. Go right in the door. That was actually a really good jump. We love those jumps. Just use the ranged hammer. My free range farm fresh hammer. To kill all the skeletons. Really easy.
Organically grown hammer.
There's a puzzle. I don't know why it's there. We're not going down here. Like, we're not gonna go do that puzzle. Why would we do that puzzle?
Oh, hold on. Pippi, saying there's a puzzle in Legend of Zelda and then not knowing why it's there. I mean, come on.
But I don't need to do the puzzle. I can just walk to the end of the area. I don't know what the puzzle is for. But they just put in an extra puzzle. It's not me.
They just did it.
Yeah, it was just a weird choice that they did. An optional puzzle? It's like the slider puzzle and the secret oasis, or the private oasis in Wind Waker. That one was optional, right? I didn't waste tons of my time. Anyway, here's Eox. He's the best boss in this game. I love him. Look how silly he is.
Smashy, smashy.
Smashy, smashy. He's also called like the stone something, despite the fact that on the inside he's wood. We're just gonna go behind him. I really want to take out his head, which he's not being very nice about. Sometimes you can... Oh, there we go.
There we go. He's moving sideways a lot.
Yeah, when he moves his head back and forth, you get a very... Oh, I did not mean to get dizzy. You get a very tiny window to hit his head. There we go. Now we've hit all the rock on the way, in the way on his back. Please don't do that, Mr. Eox. And he's gonna come up with his weak points, which are not eyes. How creative.
Oh my god, they're just circles.
They are. This is gonna, for some reason, cause an entire room reload. Don't know why it does that. And we're gonna get on his head, and we're gonna try and do a fun little trick to one cycle it. There we go.
Nice.
He is supposed to scripted fling you off before you can deal enough damage to kill the crystal. That doesn't happen because I damaged myself with a bomb at the same time. So I still had iframes, and the iframes prevented him from flinging me off his head. So
very neat.
One cycle. And now we get our first pure metal. That staircase always scares me because we haven't... Oh, I got a little dizzy. We haven't seen it yet, but you can actually break the loading zones on staircases by frame perfectly rolling into them. It just rolls you past the loading zone, which is very funny. However, it wastes a little bit of time. It doesn't, you can just roll back up into the loading zone. It doesn't actually break anything long term. But that staircase, for some reason, takes a little bit extra time to load. So every time I'm like, are you kidding me? Did I frame perfectly break the staircase again? Again? No, I did not. But if we do see that, it will be very funny and I will point it out to you. But yeah, now we have the hammer. And I can bring it with me to our next 2 dungeons because we have 2 dungeons left before we have to go back for our final visit to Temple of the Ocean King. We're going to go to the Goron dungeon and we're going to go to the Frost dungeon, which is where the Nukies are. This game has Nukies. If you're not familiar with the DS Zelda games, Nukies are an animal. By the way, I am inside the cyclone. It just spits me out inside the cyclone and gets a little mixed up because it's like, wait, huh? We need to get in there. But we don't, we already got in there. We don't need to go back, so we're just gonna warp back to the start so we can head on down to the Goron Island. Jiggy or Jim, are either of you fans of Gorons?
They're pretty neat. I like being a Goron in Majora's Mask. It's really fun.
You get to be a Goron in this game too.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I'm more of a. I like fish drama, so I'd rather deal with the Zora. But I think my favorite is the Richio. I really like them. They fly.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're cool.
Jiggy, I'm on your page. I'm not a huge Goron fan. Not a big.
They're okay.
Yeah, they're fine.
I like Daruk. Daruk is pretty cool, but if you were to ask me to name another Goron, I'd be like Darunia, I guess. And you the big guy from Twilight Princess.
Oh yeah, there is a big guy. I always forget about him.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I have to fight a boss to get into the Goron Island. This boss is annoying because he's pretty much entirely RNG. Ooh, got 3 early hits on him. He did get 2 hits on me. This is, again, one of the few places where we care about our health total. So I am going to try to break these. When he spins, and it's entirely RNG if he decides to spin or not, he is, there we go, he decided to show it off for me, completely invulnerable. He can't take damage. So he can just spin a bunch, and it will mean I can't kill him as fast. But we took down one side, we're waiting for the other side. He also on this side's way harder than the other side because you'll notice he's too far away from me right now. I have to wait for him to get a little closer. There we go, perfect. You also might notice when I take damage, my ship starts smoking. And if I take a lot of damage, my ship will start being on fire actively. The engines will be on fire and I don't think that's a good thing. That isn't very much of a problem. I know it sounds like it should be, but that isn't very much of a problem unless I am only at 1 heart remaining, in which case it becomes a lot of screen garbage. It's really hard to see anything that's going on because my ship is on fire and smoking and taking up a whole ton of screen space. So that's not too bad during that fight, but it will be really relevant during a future fight. This is called foreshadowing. Foreshadowing is a literary device. Anyway, I'm going
just like we had,
learning,
just like we had with the bombs earlier.
That's learning. You're educating them. They just want to watch Zelda.
Okay. We'll do some classic Zelda. I have to talk to every single Goron, or else the game is gonna soft lock.
That's my least favorite kind of thing. Hey, go talk to everyone before anything can happen.
This is just the beginning of an Animal Crossing game right here. You have to talk to every person, or maybe Stardew Valley. I don't know. It's been a while. Reminder that this game has a microphone. Ha!
Wait, so Jiggy, are you saying that you hate having to talk to all these NPCs more than you hate math?
I never said that. This is still a video game there, gymnast. Now, mathematics, that's like a culture, you know? Like if you like math, you're part of some sort of like cult of the math. Anybody that does the numbers, you know, they walk around with their like nice sweaters with the exclamation. No, what's the divide symbol? You know, like the cult of the pie. I don't know what I'm saying.
You're saying math numbers.
Yeah, the cult of the pie.
I'm just
the cult of the pie.
The cult of the pie.
It was a weird DLC for Cult of the Lamb, as we all know.
They walk up to people and they're just yes 3.14 3.1459. I don't know.
3.14159265358979.
Don't do that. No. Okay, wait. We have to go to break. Come on. No, I don't.
Sorry, I got possessed by the math ghost. Anyway, Ciela's gonna talk to me here going, hey, you won't soft lock anymore. And we're gonna go, great. And now I'm gonna skip the rest of the island. There's like an entire puzzle you're supposed to do, but the hammer is a ranged weapon. Oops.
The hammer do indeed have that range.
Oops, all ranged weapons.
I do genuinely think the hammer is the most fun that I had with this
It's
game.
so cute.
You know,
you're gonna
good.
love. Also, we have some plans out for our next item too, because especially in conjunction with the hammer, things are gonna get a little broken. Oh, hold on. Yeah, just hit that so we don't have to move the statue over it. That wall's not real. Just casually.
Does that work because of the pot that's there?
Yes. That's called pot clip.
Yeah.
This door you're supposed to have to weigh down. No, you don't. If you're fast, you can do it without weighing it down. We're gonna spawn in that little bridge. And just like our last dungeon, this dungeon is, we're gonna do the first half of it, except for the fact that you might notice that I'm using the hammer a lot as a weapon. That's because the hammer, you know, being the last combat item that you get in the game, does a ridiculous amount of damage. It pretty much one-shots almost everything. And if it doesn't one-shot it, it two-shots it. So we're gonna be abusing that quite a bit to skip a bunch of the harder combat and just kind of melt health bars. You'll see that right up here. Oop, a little bit short. Here's our friend. How do you make it even sillier when the Gorons say Goro after every sentence? Make it, instead of Goro, Goro Uwu. Perfect.
Goro Uwu.
But this is Gongoron. You can, Jiggy, you can add that to your Goron repertoire. He is a Goron that, as I mentioned, we are going to play as him. So we can now freely swap between characters. And we can use him to, apparently roll into, free bombs. That's actually a really good time save for later, and I will show you why in just a moment. But we're gonna have to do some sections as Gongoron and some sections as Link. Here are the regular likes. I told you we'd find them. They're here. Need them both to stand on these switches. And we're just kind of trying to swap back and forth and get as much done as we can as one character before swapping back. So I'm also going to do a little bit more as Link because I want to abuse Link's stamina refueling when I swap back characters. There we go.
Yeah, that's a smart way to like refuel Link's stamina without losing time.
Yeah, we can just immediately start. Ooh, I don't think. Yeah, we're not gonna go for it. You can skip this little cutscene that's playing right now by getting this hammer clip really, really fast. but the enemies got in the way. By the way, we can still clip the hammer through walls. That hasn't changed. Gongaron is going to be gone now. I hope you enjoyed Gongaron. He
Wow,
gone.
foreshadowing.
Bye.
But now we also, you may have noticed, we got the bomb shoes there. And the bomb shoes are also, no, hold on. Pretty broken. No? Can we? That should work. This is something called Bomb Shoe Camera Lock. On DS, this is frame perfect, and on Wii U, it is free.
Yay, home buffering.
Yay, home buffering, indeed. Yeah, by putting the console to sleep, aka opening up the suspend menu on the Wii U, we can buffer our inputs so that two things happen on the exact same frame, which is going to break the camera and get it stuck wherever our bomb shoe put the camera. Which, there you go. And now, because all of the range on my other weapons is determined by where the camera is, I can use the boomerang, I can use the hammer, I can use pretty much anything, and have no range limitations. That's called spite murder. Don't test me, Chew. Don't test me. Anyway, yeah, we skipped the rest of the dungeon again. That was the entire dungeon now. We're just gonna take this key, and... Oh, look at that, I like that. There's the boss key door. Let's go.
Wow.
Yep. I love Bomb Shoe Camera Lock. But yeah, now we're just gonna head right in to do our next boss. This boss has the most fun name. His name is Dongarongo, but he is just kind of King Dodongo. Like, this is just King Dodongo, right? There he is. Or Dongarongo Armored Lizard, which actually that one sounds kind of like a Sonic enemy. That sounds like Bio Lizard. Oh, Gongaron's back! And now Gongaron is going to fight the boss for us. The gimmick of this boss is that we have to fight him as both... Okay, there we go. Both Gongaron and Link, and kind of have to babysit going back and forth between the two. So there we go, and I now need to kill this guy before he starts damaging Link. 3, 4, 5, perfect. And now we can bomb chew him. And it's really good that we have extra bombs, because our bomb chew count and our bomb count are different. All right, he's gonna do the long attack. So I'm gonna... He's kind of locked into doing it, so I'm just gonna spend this time killing some of the little guys so that they don't come over and attack Link as much. There we go. Oop. There we go. And that should be final hit on Dongarongo.
Very nice.
He goes splat. It's gonna open up the boss door for us, and Gongaron's gonna be like, awesome! The pure metal, which is, by the way, the thing that you're looking for, is through this doorway. Bye, Link! It's... Did it trick you? Was it not suspicious that the boss didn't despawn? Just a little suspicious. But now we're gonna have to do a more traditional... ooh, that's really good, actually.
More bomb drops.
I'm gonna grab it before it despawns, and then we're gonna go back immediately to bullying him, because he can't take damage from the hammer, but he can take damage from bombs. I'm gonna actually save an extra bomb by... if I wanted to. I was gonna hit him with the bomb from the stage, but There we go. Using bombs, we can bring that from like 3 cycles on a good day down to 2. And now he's actually dead. Now, which has the better boss fake out, this or Twilight Princess, Jim?
Probably Twilight Princess.
What's the deciding factor?
The Twilight Princess has the funny Link face. Where they don't animate his face at all except his mouth opens.
That is a good argument. I see you there. I would argue though that I do think that Danganrongo's eyes just like opening, it just replaces his eyes with like PNG eyes. And that is the only thing that tells you that he's still alive is also pretty good. It's pretty
That's fair,
funny.
yeah.
All right, there's our pure metal. Now we're actually done with Gongaron. But reminder that I said that the game would soft lock if we hadn't talked to all the Gorons before we skipped the rest of the island. And that is because there is a very silly thing that we still have to do that Lineback will not let us leave the island unless we do it. It doesn't set the flag that we're allowed to leave until we take the Goron quiz, or as my chat likes to call it, the moron quiz, because it's really funny if you are a moron and you mess up the answers to the questions, and it's time loss. But so we're gonna talk to him, and he's gonna be like, talk to all of the other Gorons. Wait, you already did? Take my quiz. First question: how many homes are there? There's 6. Second question, Goron at that spot is looking at a ship. The questions are not 100% consistent. 14, though it is picking from a pool, and there's like different pools it can pick from. Yellow for each of the questions. The first 3 are gonna be consistent, but the order is a variable. That one's 7. And here's the hard one. This will be 3 rocks, 4 Gorons, or a chest, I believe. It's a chest. There we go. I didn't even have to ask chat for the answers this time. Aren't you proud of me? I now just have to, there are 2 Gongarons in the room right now. We're gonna fix the time-space continuum by telling that one to leave. And now he's gonna go, you rescued my son, thank you! Here's so much money that you don't need because you don't need to buy anything for the rest of the run. And now Ciela is gonna go, hey, we should follow that kid that ran off. We already did that. We rescued Gongarod. That was like that was doing the dungeon. Ciela's also a little bit lost, but now we are fine. We can leave. We've done everything. We fixed all of our flags from sequence breaking, and we can actually leave. He'll let us leave the island. Now, one more dungeon to go, and because we can draw W, we can warp right to the door. It's going to be that big ice. Is that Ice Ring? Hey, Jim, I found Ice Ring Isle. We're playing.
Oh boy, we're playing Wind Waker. So where are the fire arrows?
Good question. I don't have fire arrows. So Lineback has an idea to deal with my lack of fire arrows, and his idea is a cannon. So, does this work in Wind Waker?
Cannon also works.
We're just gonna go all the way around the island, and we're gonna shoot down the ice ring. Now, I do have to be kind of careful because these enemies are gonna want to bully me, so I'm just kind of multitasking, trying to hit the enemies whenever it's convenient to do so. There's going to be more that spawn up ahead, but I am so good on health that I can probably just take the rest of the damage and focus on trying to shoot the ice blocks just as far ahead as I can. Hee that one I killed for fun, and sport. And that one too. Just because I could. Because obviously hitting them as soon as possible when they're like available is gonna save a little bit of time. And you can really see my ship being on fire It's a little bit on fire. Now, interestingly enough, I said we could skip a lot of dungeons if we had blue door skip. So if we could clip into the blue door without spawning the enemies that trigger the blue door to open, then we could go straight to the final boss. However, we would still have to do a little bit of the second half of the game because the final boss does not require the hammer, does not require bomb shoes, but it does require the grappling hook, of all things. So we would still have to do half of the Frost dungeon. We'd have to get just this map piece. You can go do the Frost dungeon and the Goron dungeon in either order. So we would just go do the Frost dungeon, and then we would book it back to the final boss. So if somebody wants to find that, that would be a really interesting route, and then this run would become an all dungeons run instead of any %. You could just like edit the text on the screen. It'd be so easy, right? Anyway, right now we're playing Among Us. Now, everybody remember a hit game from 2020 that actually came out in like 2018, Among Us?
I love Among Us.
I also love Among Us.
That game is great. I haven't played it since 2020, but I love Among Us.
It's honestly,
It's
same.
decent fun.
Yeah. I'm terrible at killing people in Among Us, but I'm really decent at lying. It's something about being really small and female and having a kind of high-pitched voice. People don't think that you're lying. However, we know who the imposter is already. It's this one. We just have to talk to everyone to get all the hints so that the game will let you make a decision. The imposter is called a Uke. There he is. We found the imposter, and then instead of ejecting him out the airlock, he's gonna eject us out the airlock. He is also the Gust Bellows. I found the Gust Bellows.
He's the Gust Bellows Snowy Edition.
Yeah.
He's Blizzard Bellows. I don't know.
Instead of a leaf blower, he's a snow blower.
Yes.
I think this is how it works. Now we can go back and talk to the elder of the Anukis and be like, hey, I found your imposter, and he's gonna be like, neat. Can you go do a dungeon as well? And we're gonna go, sure. And now we can go do our final dungeon. This dungeon is probably my favorite dungeon in the speedrun. Ooh, that was really good. We like to talk to him in the middle because he will pick whatever side you are further from and walk in that direction. Frustratingly. So we like to talk to him right in the middle if you can. We have to kill all these Ukes in order to get here, but this is probably my favorite dungeon just because the reason we do this last is that we can break a whole lot of it by having both bomb shoes and hammer. And being that we have every single item once we get the grappling hook, it's gonna be pretty quick. Once again, we just need these guys to die on camera. I need to either see or hear that they are dead. Otherwise, I'm gonna get to the end and they aren't going to open the path forward because I haven't killed all of the Ukes because their animation didn't play. That's how it works. On this next screen, we're gonna encounter our first boss Uke. They're really annoying because they're basically a Uke, but their attack is RNG. So let's see how many bad attacks he gives me. Oh, 1. 2. Oh, there we go. 2 bad attacks. We're gonna want the boomerang.
Is the minimum 0?
Yes, the minimum is 0. He can just immediately suck in a bomb. Unfortunately. Here we're going to start immediately using all of our items. As I said, we're gonna do that and we're gonna basically use this bomb shoe, I don't like that line, as a timer. to change that switch, because this next room basically it wants you to do a whole long puzzle in order to change a switch, but if we've already changed the switch, we skip the puzzle. You're supposed to do that by jumping up on top of a pillar and using an arrow, but a bomb gets us high enough up. These switches, once again, are another puzzle that is dependent on permanent map fixtures. The permanent map fixtures means consistent solutions. There we go. And here are the little things that we wanted the red ones to be up. Ooh, nice. Killing that guy early is really good luck, because that means he's not going to bug us on the way back. We're going to try to hit all of these, have plenty of space, rush our way back, grab the key, and now the scariest part. Please. There we go. Just playing that extra safe, because if any of those touch you, you will get frozen in a block of ice and also get shoved off of the platform you're walking on, which is a good bit of time loss. Now we're gonna have to fight two Utes. We've got the two Utes, and My Cousin Vinny fans. We've got, yeah, that was too close to the white one. Cool. That was interesting.
Yes.
All we wanted to do there was we wanted to kill the brown one first, because he has a much shorter timer. The white one will stay stunned for a lot longer. The sort of boss Ukes have a very short timer. Now I'm gonna do something that's kind of new for me in this route. It might take me a try or two, because I'm not super practiced with it, but we're gonna save warp out. To bring ourselves back to the beginning of the dungeon. This doesn't save a ton of time, but it does save some time. We're going to be up against this wall. No, hold on. Nope. There we go. Flip our way through that. That's just gonna skip the grappling hook tutorial. And then we're going to use the grappling hook on these switches, because we would have had to come back through that passageway anyway to hit those switches, so that we can continue down into, this is one of the most fun rooms in the game. We're going to use every item except for the shovel. Sorry, shovel. We're going to use our long-ranged hammer to hit that switch early, put a bomb there, a bomb there, break our way through. Use the grappling hook. I also hope you really like that. Gonna go through, hit those 4 switches so that it'll melt the ice. Now we're in the perfect position to use our arrows, not our grappling hook, our arrows. And now we're going to have to deal with a trick that skips the rest of the dungeon, but it's going to be, or almost the rest of the dungeon, on a pretty tight timer. For safety, I'm going to give it as long of a timer as possible. This trick is also frame perfect. So it shouldn't be too bad. It's not that evil of a frame perfect trick, but it is still a frame perfect trick. So I'm going to position myself very carefully. First try, let's go. I'm gonna be in this exact position so that I can clip. There we go. The bomb shoe out of bounds.
I don't think the bomb shoe is supposed to be there.
It's not. But now we have infinite range with the grapple. And we can grapple our way to the end of the room, walk through that door, plenty of time left on the timer, and now we're up to the boss key puzzle. Once again, this is a switch on the other side of a wall, so easy. Just gonna slap that. Zelda games really do have a problem with hammers going through walls, don't they? Never really realized how much of a pattern it is. There's an extra enemy over here. It's kind of hiding.
And you have to defeat it along with the...
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Interesting.
It's like the gimmick in Wind Waker. Again, this is Wind Waker, where there's the extra Bokos hiding in the pots. Oh, I picked up a rupee by accident. And you have to go break the pots to finish the combat room. Except he's just hiding in there. That's, by the way, one of the cutest interactions in the game is that this dungeon expects you to do that a lot more, but we skip all the rest of them where you fling yourself using the grappling hook. It's very cute. But now we're just gonna open the way back, now that the chest is spawned in. Grapple our way across. Pick up our boss key. Sometimes that little buddy wearing the like helmet gets in the way, and that one is also one I like to spike kill sometimes. He stayed out of my way today. He can live. I deign to let him live.
Aren't you kind?
Thank you. Thank you. And now we're going to fight another familiar Zelda boss. Did you know that Gleeok is in this game? Here he is.
Really?
Yep. Here's Gleeok.
A two-headed dragon.
Now, which Gleeok head is going to attack when is not RNG. It's completely deterministic. And also, at the beginning, I believe, actually, how many chomps they do is deterministic. So that's also not RNG. This is just kind of an auto-scroller fight at the moment. Later on, it's going to be RNG how many chomps they do. But for now, we just have to bounce them back at each other. And now they're going to tidal wave the room, and I'm going to hop up on my post. And you're supposed to walk back and forth on the grappling hook line, but you can also just slash these. You don't have to actually avoid them. And you can actually farm a lot of health that way. And also, after the tidal wave passes, the water doesn't hurt you, so you can just hang out there. Now, blue is going to attack first. Come on over here. Thank you. And they unfortunately will chomp even if I get rid of the group before they can come over, so there's not really any point to me calling the rope back. It's just habit. Alright, we've gotten rid of both of their little masks. What? Shields? I don't know what those are, actually.
Armor.
Yeah, something. I can just chill in the water. I probably am chilling. It's probably quite cold. There's ice floating in it. This is probably really unpleasant for Link, but whatever. But now they're gonna wise up to me and they're going to get rid of my front little doodads there, so I can't actually do the thing. But first, now I'm going to wait for them to give me good RNG. That was the worst RNG possible. And I'm going to do some extra damage with a bomb, and then do a very specific amount of damage with the hammer. And I almost said the red head is dead. No, Jiggy is here. You're here, right, Jiggy? You didn't die?
I'm alive. I'm not dead. Please don't kill me, Pippi. I'm good. I'm here.
So the red Gleeok head is actually dead right now. But the game will not let him be dead until you get to the second phase. You cannot skip a phase entirely, so it instantly starts the second phase instead of having to wait for it. We got worst possible RNG twice in a row. That's sad. But we're gonna do the exact same thing again, and no such protection is on this side. See, that was the best RNG. He chomps once. But doing any amount of damage to him tries to update his health total and realizes that the boss is dead. So we only had to do just the bomb damage. We didn't have to do any more damage. And there we go. That is the end of Gleeok. That's our last dungeon. So we're just gonna pick up our final heart container because, again, it's not a free walk from here to the end of the game. We have an entire gauntlet to get through. So I will take all the health I can for safety. And I love the Azurine is my favorite of the pure metals, not just because it's blue and blue is my favorite color, but also because there's no NPCs in this room. There's no NPCs, and thus I don't have to talk to anyone. You don't have to talk to anyone before you finish the split. It just feels better. I like just walking in and going, ooh, mine. Thank you. And now, by the way, all the Ukes are not enemies anymore. They're nice now. You can like stop and talk to them or something. I don't know. I didn't do that.
Are they happy that you took the medal away?
I like the dungeon and the Gleeok was like possessing them or something like that. Like they were enchanted. However, we are getting pretty close to the end of the game. Don't talk to the dancing mailbox. Never talk to the dancing mailbox, except for when you want to talk to a dancing mailbox. We are getting pretty close to the end of the game. We have a little bit of sword forging to go before we get into the proper gauntlet. But since we do have to take our last stretch break at some point, Jiggy would now be a good time.
It would be perfect. All right, final time. We're going to take just a quick break, and when we return, we're going to be beating Phantom Hourglass. So don't go anywhere. Stick around, and when we return, Pippi's going to take us home. Bye-bye, everybody. Congratulations on making it to the number 6, everyone. You did it. We're getting right back into this. Pippi is going to already playing the game, ready to rock and roll. What are we doing and where are we going and how do we finish this game?
Well, currently I've been playing around with some little squiddies. Anybody want to count me in to start the timer, or have we already started the timer? Am I wasting time?
Jim, you do it. You do it.
3, 2, 1.
Awesome.
Go.
All right. So we don't need to hit the squiddies. The squiddies are just for fun. They give you money, which we don't need.
It's like the gritty, but
you hit the squiddy. You hit the squiddy.
You hit the squiddy.
But that's why I should have named my Wiggles emote. That's like a squid. I have an emote that's a squid. I should have called it Hit the Squiddy. Anyway, we're gonna go back to Zaz's island now. Because Zaz wanted us to get all 3 pure metals, which we've now done, so that we can forge the Phantom Sword, not the Master Sword. This game doesn't have the Master Sword. The Master Sword is like sealing Ganon in Wind Waker, right? Something like that?
Yes. Ganon from Wind Waker, he does a monologue.
Yeah. He, like, the wind, it's blowing, something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah,
and then you politely insert the Master Sword into his cranium.
Yeah, exactly. I'm actually gonna check my mail. This is required now. I need to check my mail, because I have received threats in the mail.
Revenge.
I love this, that oh, hold on, I need to sign for my package. There you go. You don't actually have to sign your name, obviously, but it's way more fun if I do, right? I do that in runs. But I love the text if you get the threats in the mail. When you talk to the guy and he finishes reading out your letter, he goes, "Ooh, well, that was a little scary. I've never delivered a threat before. Oh, I like that." I'm like, yeah, me too, buddy. But we're actually going to save and quit. Go back to the title screen and then immediately open back up our file, because what we're doing is that threat was from Jolene, if you remember her from earlier, and saving and quitting is going to spawn her at the bottom of the screen, and she's going to start moving her way up towards us. And we would like to cross paths with her. You can see her on the top screen there, still making her way towards our line. And the game actually will not let you go get the Phantom Sword until you go fight Jolene again. I don't know why the camera just spun there. That was really interesting. What? I've never seen that one before. Okay. So this is just gonna be almost the same Jolene fight. She has a little bit of a trick to her. Now she learned some tricks, but so did we. She also knows that Linebeck is in the box. She's gonna move a little bit faster, but also we have the hammer now, which can oopsies, instantly re-roll her RNG until we get an RNG we like. So we're gonna just keep going. Yeah, come on. I also do want to keep my health total relatively high because I don't get a heal before going into the gauntlet after this. We're gonna throw away her sword just like last time, and she's like, wait, but I have a new trick. I learned how to pick it up off the ground.
Some advanced battle tactics right here.
Oh, she didn't learn how to pick it up off the ground twice. Ah, darn.
Ow.
She only learned how to do it once, so. She's gonna leave now, and Linebeck is going to give us some backstory. I'm gonna pick up the heart for safety. So I believe the implication of the story, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the implication of the story is that Linebeck is her ex-boyfriend, and they were like supposed to get married, and he, because he's a coward, was afraid of commitment and ran away. I believe that's supposed to be the story. Also, we're gonna just save and quit again, because if I save and quit, it's gonna place me immediately back at Zaz's Island, where I last entered the map, and I can just turn around and go back. Because we fought Jolene, and we progressed Linebeck's story, and we learned Linebeck's backstory, Zaz has now finished the sword, so we can go. Oh no! Darn it! I didn't mean to go into the mailbox. I don't need to get my mail again. No, they're gonna get me. No.
Well, now
thanks.
you get to sign. You get to sign again.
Actually, don't worry about it. They have my name on file.
Oh, okay.
They keep your name on file. Oopsies. But now Zaz is gonna be all done. It's gonna be like, hey, here you go. Here's the sword. It doesn't have a handle though. So you can't actually use it at the moment. So here you go, kid. Here is just a dangerous blade that I'm giving to this 11-year-old. Neat, thanks. So we are going to have to bring this back to Oshu. If y'all remember Oshu from the beginning of the game, it's Ciella's grandfather, who's a dude. We're gonna have to bring it to Oshu, and he is gonna help us finish the sword. And once again, we're kind of done with the sailing portion of the game now. We can just warp directly to in front of the island we need, and easy. There we go. And this will be our last time entering Merkay. Because we're just gonna stop by Oshu and then go directly to our last trip through the Temple of the Ocean King. I like to call this part of the run the victory lap before the true gauntlet, because we do have a boss gauntlet at the end, but the actual victory lap portion of it is just kind of remember how hard and how much work we put in trying to optimally do all of those levels earlier. Going down through Temple of the Ocean King, you can skip that now, because we're gonna skip this cutscene too. We have so many items. You saw we tore apart those last couple dungeons, especially the Frost dungeon. Because we have so many items, we can just absolutely destroy what we had done previously. By the way, that broken copy of Oshu is still standing on the cliff. He's still blocking a dig spot. It's like a ship part or something like that. It's like a treasure map. Linebeck is like, all right, child, you're gonna go do the thing, and I am not. Neat. Thanks. This was definitely a necessary cutscene. Bye.
Bye, Linebeck.
Don't worry, we'll see him again. We'll see him again at the end of the game. That's not foreshadowing at all. If you haven't played this game casually, you should. It's a really good game. It is genuinely one of my favorite Zelda games. I love it. Now, just for safety, we're gonna pick up some extra items before we enter, and it's going to take us to the 6th floor, and it's going to remove an amount of time from the timer proportionate to the amount of time that we had left on the timer the last time we went through. And now we're back here. Remember here where we had to do a whole bunch of stuff? We have the grappling hook now. We also have bomb shoes, and both of those things are going to absolutely destroy this section because we don't have to go all the way around to get this box now. We can just grapple to it. Now we already have our round key. And remember that cute trick we did where I, like, sniped a little, like, phantom and then dumped him into the void so that we could bring our keys where we needed them? Yeah, we don't have to do that anymore. We're just gonna let that guy be because we have bomb shoes, which can, actually, hold on, there we go. Can go through that hole and blow up the switch for us and just open the way through. And we're already on our way down. I don't need the round gem or whatever it's called anymore. It was a gem, right? I don't know. Whatever
a round
it is.
one.
I don't need it anymore. So I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm gonna use my ranged hammer. Kill a whiz robe there. Because they can knock the gem out of my hand. And that's the only stage. Every time you kill all of the enemies in one of these maps, it's going to, there we go. Punish for your crimes. It's going to give you a little cutscene of a chest spawning. That's the only one we're going to do. On all of our other screens, we're going to let at least one live. By the way, we can grab both of them at once with our grapple, which is pretty fast. There we go. And once again, we would like to get into the last 3 floors, so we're gonna place these in order. There we go. And wow, that was a lot faster than last time. Again, this dungeon is kind of a speedrunner's dream. Because we already got the goodies in this treasure room, we don't have to do anything. We can just immediately go back out. And instead of doing, oh, hold on, I forgot a step. Instead of doing that cute trick we did last time, we're just gonna, there we go. Use a bomb shoe to blow up that switch, and now we can push this rock, and it's gonna make the warp guy go swish.
Clearly that phantom has never seen Indiana Jones.
Yeah, or Skyward Sword for that matter. We're going to now take another bomb shoe to blow up this one. Pull out grapple. Make our way across. And now we'll take the same path we did last time. But we already have the small key, so once again, the warp phantoms are warpy, but they're stupid, so they're not going to actually care about me. They're too slow, too stupid. This floor we're just gonna skip. I don't know why you can just skip that one. And this floor, whee!
Yeah.
By the way, did you know our sword can kill all of them, regardless of what type of phantom it is? Our sword can kill them now. So we're just gonna hit that with our hammer. Go over and pick up this one. And because we could use the hammer to put down the spikes, we don't have to worry about FedEx because we don't have to really, like, bring the thing very far. We'll bait that guy with that, stun him with the hammer, kill him with the sword. Bring back out my grapple. And this one is the one we're gonna leave him alive so that we don't get the cutscene, because he's the really stupid one. He's just a little blue boy. He's just a little blue boy trying his best. So we can just... There we go. He's gonna stay stunned long enough that he's never gonna know what happened. But now we can throw all of these right up here. And that is the entirety of the Temple of the Ocean King. A little bit faster than than last time. You might notice.
Just a smidge, just a little faster, you know? Just a little, just a bit.
Just a bit. However, there is going to be one more floor added. If you remember, they draw attention when we went through the last time to the fact that the last floor doesn't actually stop the timer. And that is because this floor has enemies now. This is what opens the blue door. These are the enemies that we needed. The trigger for these enemies spawning is having the Phantom Sword. That's the only reason we need the Phantom Sword. We don't need it for anything else. We just need it to spawn these guys. And oddly enough, for these guys in particular, the blue boys are actually the scary ones. But we got through them. You kind of have to carefully pick your way through the blue boys so you can sneak in between them to kill the first one so that you can create a bigger gap to get to the other ones. And as you can see, these guys, there's a little flaw in their plan. I can just make it so that when they spawn, I'm standing like literally right behind them. It's gonna do the same thing with the warp boys now. Again, like I don't need to worry about there being a gap for me to slash through or to make myself a little window to kill the first one, because before they even like turn to start their patrol routes, the first one's already dead. And now we get to see the blue door. This is the blue door. If only we could skip it. Not yet. We'll get there. But here it is. This is the end of the game. The timer is paused. Wow, apparently, according to this, we beat the whole game in like 5 minutes. 5 minutes and 16 seconds, according to it. I don't think that timing is quite correct.
I say take the win, you know. If they messed up, that's on them. Take the win.
This is one of the other only spots where we don't have to say no, but we want to say no. If you say yes there, all of the rest of the fairies spawn to give you a pep talk. We don't want their pep talk. That's slow. And here we're just gonna go into Bellum. This fight is hard. A lot of parts of this fight are hard, and they all share a health total. I don't ever get to heal in between phases, so I'm going to be a little bit locked in. Jiggy Jim, what are your thoughts on Bellum?
He's got a lot of eyes.
He do. He's very squishy.
I hope that one day we can see something like Bellum again. It's very interesting when you don't have a Zelda boss that's Ganon.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you get like Majora, which is like another fun one-off boss. And then the only returning Zelda boss that's not Ganon is the guy from Four Swords and Minish Cap, Vadi. We haven't seen Vadi in a million years.
Yeah, Twilight Princess could have had Zant as the final fight, but they were cowards. Unfortunately,
they just turned him into an Agahim. You know, they turned him into a Yuga.
Yeah.
I think they were just too afraid to do not Ganondorf in a game that looked like Twilight Princess.
Yeah. I also am on team. I like Zant better than Ganon. That phase where I have to grapple to get him to come over to me, that's the only reason we need the grappling hook. Is just to get him to come over. The only other item we need for this fight is the bow, because there is no other way to damage him other than to shoot his eyes. Ooh, nice, we got that snipe. His eyes on this section, I'll take the extra arrows in case I miss some shots, are going to appear only on the consistent pillars. So if I know, I was a little slow on that snipe. If I know which pillar his tentacle was last on, of the tentacles that are left alive, I can predict which pillar it'll be on. Oh, I railed past that guy. Pillar it'll be on next. Also, as you can see, his eyes do open and close, so I'm trying to snipe them and also ideally not take too much damage, because this is still phase 1. This is all phase 1 of the Bloopy Boy. And as you can see now, he's spinning to try to make me forget which pillars it was. Oh, I was a little early on that snipe, but still got 2 really fast. Got a little lucky. I'm trying not to miss too much because I do have a arrow count to worry about. However, he will drop arrows, obviously. Oh, nice. We got the final snipe.
Nice.
He will drop arrows from, if you kill the little buddies, he can drop either arrows or hearts killing the buddies. But obviously we'd have to wait for the buddies to spawn, and we don't want to do that. And that's also more time where he can damage me. So we're going to not do that ideally. So now we have to watch this little cutscene. Ciela has been informed that she lost her memories, but she is actually the spirit of time. So now she suddenly, because she's been reminded of this by her floating grandfather, normal things, she is able to spawn phantom orbs. Phantom orbs are going to allow me to stop time, so I'm going to wait until he's close and do as much damage as possible. And wait for a second one. It's impossible to get that in one cycle with no knowledge, unfortunately. There we go. He go bloop, 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 for a long time.
Well, he's got a bloop until he can't bloop no more.
Yeah, and you would think that, okay, we beat phase 2. We beat Bellum, right? We beat Bellum? Yeah? No.
I think so. There's not gonna be another phase. I think you beat the boss. He's pretty hard.
Welcome to the hardest part of this fight. This is what I like to call Bellum Boat. So if you're playing this game casually, you are supposed to be upgrading the boat as you go. You're supposed to have more health, you're supposed to have better weaponry on the boat. However, we didn't do that because that would be slow. So, I have a max total of 4 health and have to do the sea fighting phase. And this is where, hey, it was foreshadowing, comes into play, that if I take too much damage, it becomes much easier to take more damage, because I can't see anymore because my boat is on fire. You also might notice that a lot of my shots look like they should hit and then just don't. That is because the boat has like way too many target points. So when I tap on it, it either picks to tap on the actual eye or on a nearby target point. And it's really hard to get it to only hit the target points. I am hoping to not take damage. We only have 1 eye left on this side. I didn't get great luck with how far forward and when Linebeck decides to swap to the other side are all RNG. Until you clear out an entire side. And at this point, he is scripted to go as fast as possible to the other side because he knows that I'm done with one side. So I got a little bit of bad RNG, but I'm at full health, or I was. Can you take out the center 3? Had enough punishment? All right, we took down the ghost ship. The game should be over, right? Right?
Yeah, you beat the boss twice. There's no way there's a third phase.
I need to save? Why save? I beat the boss. there's definitely not a third boss. And our third boss is, here's the twist, is Linebeck. This is called Bellumbeck. Colloquially, Linebeck has been possessed by Bellum. So I first have to get a phantom orb and run around to the back to show that his eye is closed. The game needs me to acknowledge that I cannot hit him that way. Hey, ooh, look at the top screen. His eye's open. Ooh, whoa. He got me. Thanks, Ciela. Sorry, ooh. My favorite silly Ciela lines. But we're gonna actually farm some phantom spheres because we can have more than one at a time. And we would like to do it while he is at high health because the lower health he gets, the more attack options he gets. So this is gonna be our fastest option of just bullying him. He's being really nice about not damaging me. At the moment, I am trying to keep him relatively also close to the edge so he has less RNG in terms of which way he can jump. Now that I have 4 though, ideally we shouldn't need 4, we should only need 3, but now I can wait for his eye to open. Use 1. Ooh, this is a good setup. We want to be clanging with our quick spins because each clang is gonna reset my dizzy timer, so I can just bully him repeatedly if I can get into a position where I can clang like that. Ooh, perfect. All right, we might get the 3 cycle in here. We love a 3 cycle. All right, he's gonna be mean. He's gonna do one of his other attacks.
He's gotta do that spin to win.
You do. All right, time is coming up very quickly. Time.
GG!
Very nice.
There we go. Down he goes.
Heck yeah.
Now the game is actually over.
Now the game is actually over. And he
actually won there.
Yep.
Absolutely incredible. That was a wonderful 3 hours and 20 minutes with 53 seconds. Pretty awesome.
That's pretty darn good. That's about a minute off of my PB. Something like that.
Pretty great.
I'll take that for a showcase run. If you consider about half of that
fantastic.
time was RNG time loss in the first 4 minutes, I'll take it. But now, yay, Tetra's alive now. We did it. We saved her. We did it. And you do get rewarded at the end of this game that if we get through this part of the cutscene, it will play actual good music. I swear. They really hold out on the good music for you. But there is.
They put it all the way at the end. But Pippi, why don't you just tell everybody at home just a little bit about what you do on your show and why they should give you a follow and what you have coming up soon.
Hi, I've been Pippi in a Top Hat. I will continue to be Pippi in a Top Hat. If you are interested in the stuff I do, you can go to Google and type in Pippi in a Top Hat. It'll take you to my stuff. But I primarily run Skyward Sword and Phantom Hourglass. I'm immediately after this going to be swapping over to some Skyward Sword runs because as both Jiggy and Jim already know, I'm going to be joining people for Zeldathon Mythos for a fun adventure we have happening. I don't know how much of it is publicly revealed yet, but I know it's revealed.
I talked about it all yesterday.
Heck yeah.
The big split.
We have the big split, and I will be running Skyward Sword for our big split. So we're gonna be going to DRS that. I hope you had fun with Phantom Hourglass. If you did have fun with Phantom Hourglass, you can also watch the big split where we'll have a Phantom Hourglass run being run by Mr. Shasta, who's the world record holder. Then thank you so much for having me. Thank you, Jiggy. Thank you, Jim, for jumping on comms last minute because we had a whole bunch of scheduling issues. So thank you, Jim, for stepping up and being my last minute commentator and being dragged along on the Wind Waker sequel adventure. You're gonna run this game now, right?
At some point in the indeterminate future, maybe.
Now you're gonna give us a problem.
When Jim is 99, he's gonna pick up that Wii U game and all right, it's time.
Well, I mean, by that
seriously.
point, you know, Phantom Hourglass will be out on the Wii Switch U remake. So.
Oh, right.
True. Well, thank you, seriously, Pippi and Jim, for being here and showcasing this. Pippi, thank you so much for showcasing the Legend of Zelda, the Phantom Hourglass. Now it never has to be on Oops All Zelda ever again. Let's go!
Until we get Blue Door Skip. Until we get Blue Door Skip, and we won't be the second longest. We won't be the second longest Zelda speedrun anymore. I'm determined.
It was fantastic. Seriously, it was absolutely fantastic. Folks, please go follow Pippi. You can hover over the title of the stream and click on her name and hit that follow button. And Jim, thanks for being here. We will see you later for some Majora's Mask, but we're going to take a short break. And when we return, we're jumping in to The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening 2019 with Ruben. Stick around. Oops All Zelda. We'll be right back.